Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. As always, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to get in here and talk about today's topic, which will be a video review. I haven't done one of these in a long time, so this will be good. Okay. Now, this particular man that goes by the name MG, the mortgage guy, or something like that. Now, I get people sending me links about this guy all the time, right? And it's almost like a waste of time to talk about who he is, what he does, whatever, right? But when you come here, I want you guys to understand that this channel looks at everything very differently because we are what you call aliens, right? All right. Now, before I get too deep into that, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And I try to shorten this up a little bit, and I want to just kind of tell you the debt matrix is anything that mathematically lives outside the calculator. All right. Kind of gives you a better idea of what, if you try to picture the debt matrix as a physical place, right? So to think this way, just say anything outside the calculator, meaning that anything you believe other than what the calculator says. All right. So the debt matrix is a place where slaves live. Now, slaves are, well, let's break it down. There's two kinds of slaves. There's unconscious slaves and conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves don't trust math and don't know they don't trust math, right? Conscious, believing that they are homeowners with 30-year mortgages, believe they got a car on sale after financing it for 84 months, et cetera, et cetera. Conscious slaves were once unconscious, found the SMD channel, believed that the actual name of the channel, added up to savings, added up to debt, hit enter, believed the calculator. Once they believed the calculator, saw it was the deep negative, they said, oh, if I'm below zero, that means I'm a slave. Yes, you're a slave. They're doing whatever it takes to get out of the debt matrix by getting to zero. One second. That was me. What's up, Amina, Nicer, Aaron, L. Marshall. That was me making six figures, college educated, 4-year degree, high 6-year earner, engineer, computer engineer, blah, blah, blah. All the things that the debt people in the debt matrix makes it seem like success. The only thing I was a high valued slave. That's it. That's it. Nothing more than that. A high valued slave. Got out of debt, got to zero. Now, mind you, I didn't know I was a slave until I got to zero. I didn't even know. Once I freed myself by paying off all my debt, I was like, holy shit, I was a slave that whole time? Yep, sure was. My whole life, a dream, a mathematical illusion. All I had to do was believe the calculator. That's it. That's all I had to do. I would have been a multimillionaire years ago. Okay? Now that I'm out of the debt matrix, and I'm just telling you, if you always believe the calculator, you will be rich. That's it. The secret to wealth is not a secret. All you got to do is believe the calculator. That's it. That's it. All right. So telling you that, obviously the information I'm telling you is a gift. Why is it a gift? Because there are millions of people in student loan debt. $1.7 trillion equals millions of people in student loan debt that believe they can buy a house while having student loan debt. There's only one way to buy a house. That's in cash. There is no other way. There is no other way to buy a house other than cash. That's what the calculator says. That's what the calculator says. Okay. So if you add it up, now listen, if you're thinking about buying a house, right? Add up all your savings, add up all your debt, savings minus debt, and hit equal. Whatever the calculator says, that's how much money you have to buy a house. That right there, the calculator. Now, if you choose not to believe that, anything outside of that is called financing. If you don't have the money to buy the house and you don't know you don't have the money to buy a house, that's your problem. That's your problem. Anybody that tries to sell you anything outside of what I just told you and you believe it, that's your problem. Okay? Because the calculator clearly tells you that nobody in the world could be a homeowner if you have no money, because there's only one way to do it. You have to buy it in cash. You understand? All right. Now that's a segue in today's topic. All right, so this is what I want you to do before we watch this video. All right. I want you guys to make sure that by me showing you MG, the mortgage guy, I'm not attacking whatever he's selling. Because I want you guys to understand that's not the perspective I'm coming at this, reviewing this video for. I'm just pointing out things that make absolutely no mathematical sense. But if you choose to believe it, that's on you. Whatever he's doing, that's business. If he's good at selling FHA mortgages and talking about certain things, that's business, baby. That's nothing to do with nothing. I don't care what he's selling. I don't care how he's selling it. Is it legal? Yeah, shut the fuck up then. If it's legal, what he's doing, who cares if you don't like what he's doing? That's your problem. And I mean that. So but here, I'm here to show you the outside view, outside the debt matrix, okay? Now, before we even start this, if you even dare to do it, if you want to do it, before you even watch this review, before I click play, this is all you got to do. Log into your online credit report. Just log into it. Right when you pop in, there's going to be a big old number that pops in your face. I want you to write down that number, and then I want you to put a negative in front of it. Okay, write it down on a piece of paper and put a negative in front of it. This is how much money you have to buy a house. Whatever that negative number is, yes, including your student loans, yes, including your mortgage, yes, including your credit cards, your car payment, all that goes in here. That's why I'd say log into your online and write down the number and put a negative in front of it. That's how much money you have to buy a house. No matter what he says in this video, the calculator's not lying to you. All right? Keep that in mind as we watch this video. So now I'm going to bring this video up. All right, just a second. And we're going to watch it together. And every now and then I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to comment to you the things that make absolutely no mathematical sense. And I'm going to tell you why mathematically. Now, if you choose not to believe anything I'm mathematically saying, that's your problem. Because you're not disagreeing with me. You're disagreeing with the laws of mathematics. I want you guys to clearly understand that. All right, let's get started. I'll bring this up.
Better known as MG, the mortgage guy. Happy Friday. I hope all is well. Today is June 18th, 2021. Got a lot going on in the mortgage world. So I'm going to give y'all a second for all of y'all to jump on this. This is probably going to be a packed live, so I'm going to start this in a couple minutes just to give people enough time so that way I'm not sitting here repeating myself.
Mind you, so far as I press play on this video, as you can see down there, there's 13,300 people that have watched this since he posted it a day ago. Now, I want you to, outside the debt matrix, this is the only view that I can give you. That's how many people that don't understand everything he's saying makes absolutely no mathematical sense. Okay, I want you guys to understand how many people, don't be impressed by the views. That tells you how many people that don't know, because there's absolutely no reason for me to even watch this video. The only reason why I'm watching this video is for you. The very title of this video tells me everything I need to know about the video. See, you guys don't understand that because you guys don't understand FHA mortgages are for slaves. People that will not accept that they cannot afford a home. That's why they're called subprime mortgages. For people that don't know, for people that will never own a house because they can't even pay off their student loans. Well, let's get into this video. I'm not going to get too deep into it. All right, let me get back here.
Over again to all of y'all. But first things first, let's get down to business. Rants and Gems podcast, episode 3 is out now. Make sure you.
I'm gonna fast forward.
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to apply for a loan, you can click the link in my bio or head over to Garland Mortgage Group. If you want a free consultation, head over to Garland Mortgage Group, the Instagram page. Click that link in their bio and you can get a free consultation. I would love to help you guys. All right. Now, I'm also going to do second opinion calls. Yesterday.
All right, let me fast forward a little bit. A lot of advertising. I don't feel like hearing all that.
You have a contract. You're about to sign a contract. You're thinking about refinancing. Good morning to all of you guys in the comments. I appreciate you. So let's talk about FHA. Let's talk about student loans. Today, a mortgagee letter was released by HUD. Changing the FHA guidelines, and now.
So you guys understand, just like I stated earlier, right off the bat, I want you guys to understand something. FHA mortgages are for slaves. People that don't know they cannot afford a house. This is who they are designed for, because if you knew, you would clearly understand that FHA mortgages make absolutely no financial sense in the world, CENTS, at all. That's why they're called subprime. That's why they let you in when you have a low credit score, because they're talking to you. That's why they say, hey, he's gonna tell you some stuff about the student loan forgiveness, something. Now they changing this and that. That's why they're talking to you, because you don't know you can't buy a house with student loans. So they're gonna make it look so well that you'll go deeper in debt for it because you don't know. Doesn't matter if they're going to take off 0.5% or only charge 1,000 here. It doesn't matter. You can't buy a house with student loan debt. That's what the laws of mathematics say. That's why they designed this.
They're going to follow the conventional guidelines, basically, right? So as we all know, FHA, if your student loans are deferred, and shout out to Queen Shanny with the badge, I appreciate you. So FHA, if your student loans are deferred.
Here's another thing. This is why they say these things. If your student loans are deferred, they already know your student loans are deferred. Everybody's out of work. Do you understand? That's why it sounds good to you. If your student loans are deferred, yeah, pretty much everybody ain't got no job. Their student loans are deferred. So they're talking to all of you slaves that don't know. That's why it sounds good. Oh, if your student loans are deferred, oh, it's talking to me. Hell yeah, they're talking to you.
Or in an IBR, lenders have to use 1% of that balance to qualify you. Now, if you have $100,000 in student loans, then the lender will use $1,000 as your monthly payment to help to qualify you, and that will go into your debt to income ratio. Now, I've seen firsthand how this has stopped so many people from.
If you've been in debt all your life, you have no idea what your debt to income ratio is, and nor have you ever bothered to even find out. They know that. That's why they talk about it. And if you're in the IBR student loan forgiveness program or something, some stupid nonsense, if you're in one of those programs and you sign on a dotted line to say you're going to stay with them 10 to 25 years to pay off your student loan debt, you agree to take, if you don't believe in yourself that you can pay off whatever your student loan debt is between 10 to 25 years of your life, that's a psychological problem. Do you understand? That's something within you. Say like this, say like you had $100,000 in student loan debt. What you're saying when you sign up in one of those programs, what you are telling them that I don't believe I will ever make $100,000 between 10 and 25 years of my life. I don't believe I can do it. They're going to oblige you, slave. That's why they come up with FHA mortgages. That's why they're making it look good, because you're slaves. None of that makes any mathematical sense, but hey, I'm coming from you from a mathematical perspective. It doesn't matter how I feel about what Mr. Mortgage Guy is doing or what he's selling to you. It doesn't matter. That's your problem if you don't trust mathematics. He's not tricking me. He's not fooling me. He's not telling me something that, oh my God, you can do that. It means absolutely nothing to me because I'm not in debt. If you have student loan debt and you've made it up in your mind that you're never going to pay off your student loan debt, that's why he sounds good to you, because you've already made up in your mind that you're never going to be paying it off. And if you fill out a mortgage application and your student loans are older than your fucking children, that's why that mortgage is appealing to you. No mortgage in the world makes anybody a homeowner. None. Not even the best one in the United States makes a person a homeowner. Sure doesn't. Only cash, slaves.
Qualifying for a mortgage. Now, what they did today, and effective immediately, which is the great thing, right, is now they're saying if you're in an income-based repayment plan, and if that payment on your credit report says $1, then the lender will have to use that payment as your student loan payment.
Hey, let me tell you something, slaves. Let me tell you something, slaves. When they talk like that, it's like they're slapping you slaves in the face, man. I mean, this shit just makes absolutely no sense. If that sounds good to you, listen, if that sounds good to you, what he's saying, you're an unconscious slave. That's what you are. It's just, hey, but it's just business. Everything he's doing is legal. Okay, I want you guys to, subprime mortgages are legal. That's your problem. Do you understand, slaves? They be doing you guys so fucking dirty. Ooh.
This is a freaking home run, guys.
Oh, no, it's not.
You guys understand how huge this is, because most of you guys are income-based repayment plans. But you have to make sure you have the proper documentation from the student loan.
You hear what he said right there? You hear what he said right there? Most of you guys are in the student loan replacement program, whatever. He's just telling to your face. We already know most of you slaves are already in that program. So of course you're going to like this bullshit I'm about to tell you. Mathematical bullshit, mathematical speaking, of course, not saying the business. Okay. I'm sure he can get you these subprime mortgages. He probably can get them fast. I'm sure he can skip some steps, anything to get your ass deeper in debt. If your student loans, put it this way, you guys, some of you guys out there that already got these subprime mortgages, I got some bad news for you. Hey, if your student loans are older than your subprime mortgage, hey, you better sell. That's all I got to say. You better sell. Sell. Right now is the time to sell. Slaves are going into frenzy. Watch, when you watch this video, he's going to be amping up slaves. Hey, you guys better hurry up. You guys better get out there. There's going to be competition. Wait till that frenzy happens. They don't know. All those slaves, they don't know they ain't buying shit. They got student loan debt. You ain't buying nothing.
Creditor, that shows that you're in an income-based repayment plan. That shows the payment, and we have to make sure that your credit report matches up with that documentation. So if that income-based repayment plan on your credit report says $1, y'all, that's what the lender is about to use as your monthly payment instead of 1% on the balance. Now, a lot of you, if you have your thing in forbearance, because everybody took advantage of the COVID-19 relief, and even before.
See, there they go again. Hey, listen, you guys not listening. There they go again, knowing you in debt. They know you did all this. They know you took this and deferred payments. That they know you're doing that. Of course, you're going to like what he's going to tell you. Of course, you're in debt. Now you're seeing the frenzy of housing market prices on the rise, and everybody. No, they're not. They're not buying. Hey, listen, they're not buying anything. Okay, you cannot buy a house while you have student loan debt. That's impossible. According to the laws of mathematics, you cannot buy a house when you have student loan debt. You cannot buy a house when your student loan debt is older than your children, your grandchildren. You can't do that. I promise you that. I promise you. I promise you. I'm never wrong ever. Now, this is the difference between my gift and anybody else's gift on the fucking YouTube. I can prove my gift. Do you understand? I can prove my gift with mathematics. I'm never, ever, ever wrong, ever. Nobody on YouTube can claim that. I can, and I can prove it. All right, so let's get on with it.
COVID-19, a lot of y'all was just pushing your joints back, right? Deferring them. You guys now are not going to be hit with the 1%. Now it's going to be a 0.5%. So if you're a person who does not want to take your loans,
you know how happy the student loan places are that you guys are going to be paying even less on your student loan debt. They want you to keep the student loan debt your entire fucking life. That's why they make it so easy. That's why they make it so. Do you know this? Hey, if they denied everybody with student loan debt to get a mortgage, do you know the housing market would crash? It would crash. I don't want that. Just because I'm saying this out in the open and just telling you, I like the economy the way it is. I like it. It's a choice. When I was in debt, I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know that. I was in debt. I was a slave. I didn't own myself. But once you get out, you're like, oh, shit, I have a choice. Oh, yeah, the system's beautiful. It's wonderful. This is why MG, the mortgage guy, can sell what he's selling because of the economy. It's beautiful. Put it this way, if everybody knew what I know, MG, the mortgage guy, couldn't be in business because nobody would be doing that. Everybody that knows what I know, they know better than do any of that, what he's saying. You don't do that. That's dumb. That's finance. It makes absolutely no financial sense, CNTS, at all. None, zero. Car lots would go out of business. I don't want that.
You don't want to make no payment. Great. We no longer have to use 1% as the payment. So again, 100,000, 1% equals $1,000 a month. Now we're going to use a 0.5%. So that same $100,000 debt, as an example, if your student loans, we will now use a 0.5% as the payment, which will make your monthly payment.
Hey, let me tell you guys something else too. Let me tell you something. And this is so you guys can be honest with yourself. All right. If you don't even know how much debt you're in, like if I say, hey, how much debt are you in? And you really have to guess, you don't know. This is why they talk percentages, percent, 0.5% this, percent that, because you cannot possibly ever understand what that means if you don't even know how much debt you're in. You cannot know what that means. You just don't know. So that's why they use it. That's why they use words like percentages and this. It means nothing. Whatever he's saying, that means absolutely nothing. 0.5% this and whole point that 100,000. They only can use 1,000 now. This is the game change. No, it's not. No, it's not. For the banks, it is. You guys are just putting yourselves deeper in debt for what? Oh, you pay less on your student loan so you can go get a mortgage and get deeper in debt. So if you had $100,000, listen, this is what you're not calculating. Say like you have $100,000 in student loan debt, and then you go get a $300,000 house. You are now $400,000 in debt. If you didn't get the house, you would be $100,000 only. Do you understand? Now you dig yourself. They gave you the shovel. They're giving you the shovel so you can dig yourself deeper in debt. And understand it. It's just business. The housing market wouldn't exist without you guys. It would not exist. So thank you. I mean, I appreciate you. I know it sounds weird. I know this sounds weird, but I appreciate guys like MG, the mortgage guy. Those guys, believe it or not, people like him, there's a whole bunch of people just like him. They're important too. That is what they do, believe it or not, is very important to the housing market. It is very important.
Payment for the lender, $500. Guys, this is a freaking home run. I don't think you guys understand.
I do.
How much this is a home run.
I do.
For these buyers.
For the banks.
FHA financing, because they can only put down 3.5%. Or they have low credit scores, but they have so much student loan debt, and it has been stopping them. So I'm going to encourage all of you.
Put it this way. So I'm going to tell you guys so you can hear it. You don't really understand why 3.5% down sounds good to you. This is why you don't really understand. You're like, wow, just that little bit of, okay. Again, there's only one way to buy a house, and that's with cash. You have to have the money. If it's $300,000 house plus tax, you have to have $300,000 plus tax, or however, no, not plus tax on the house, but you have to have $300,000. You have to have to say, here, I'm buying that. You don't even have 3.5%. You don't even have 3.5% of the whole 100%. You barely have that. And you got a low credit score. You're nowhere near being a homeowner, but you don't understand that don't make sense. If you don't have the 3.5%, you're not ready. You're not even put it this way. You don't have the 3.5%, and you have student loan debt on top of that, and the student loan debt is older than your children. Low credit score. That's why they're talking to you.
If you are pre-approved with a lender, if you went to a lender, is there notifications? If you went to a lender in the past, okay, then you will now be able to get pre-approved using a less payment. Now, you have a question, Slim Thick Chick. You said, what if your IBR is 0?
Ooh.
If your IBR is 0, then the lenders will use 0.5%.
She said this question that this person just asked him. What if I ain't even paying on my student loan repayment plan? What if it's just 0? Wait a minute, you ain't even paying on them? People like that, they don't really understand. If you paying 0 on your student loans, they really want you to do that, because you know how fast that interest stacks when you ain't paying nothing? Oh man. They don't, because one day you're going to have to pay it. You're not getting out of it. It doesn't matter if you think you're a homeowner with a house. That's your problem. Student loans, that's like the new slavery. If you have student loans, you're owned. And especially if you don't ever think you're going to pay off your student loan debt, that means you're agreeing to be a slave until you're dead. Do you understand that, slaves? I hope you understand that.
All right. If your IBR is 0, the lenders will use 0.5%. Okay. But you better get that IBR into some sort of payment. You better make it $1, $2, $5. All right. Get a payment on your IBRs. Make a payment. The bottom line, the strategy on this is very simple. Get an IBR, get a payment, as cheap as possible. IBR is income-based repayment plan.
Mm-hmm.
Put your damn student loans in IBRs, people, if you want to buy a house. All right? No, this is nationwide. This is not a state-specific requirement. This is coming directly from HUD, people.
Okay, hold up, man. To me, it just sounds like he's pushing people to get into the student loan forgiveness. Is he working for the government or something? I don't get. That sounds fishy to me. Why would you push people into get your stuff in the IBRs so you can get? Oh man. Oh, they be doing you guys so dirty. You know how many of you guys are gonna do that? You guys are the majority of you guys are gonna push your shit into IBR and then get a, oh my God. Oh, they might as well just slap you in the face, slaves. Oh my, oh, like cattle to slaughter.
Let's focus. It's coming from HUD.
I know why you laughing. I do.
Today or yesterday. It's out. All right? This is nationwide, y'all. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you have student loans,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you put them in an income-based repayment plan, which is IBR, people. IBR stands for income-based repayment, okay, guys? For the 10th time. If you have...
Man, hey, listen to me. They just do it right in your fucking face. Sign up to tell the IBR, I don't believe I can ever pay off my student loans between 10 and 25 years of my life. I don't believe I'm going to ever earn that much money. That's a different problem. You know how many of you guys are going to do it? Oh my God. You guys, you combined, okay, listen, you take these new rules, you combine this new FHA rules, and you combine that with Biden's new proposal of 40-year extensions, you guys are preventing the housing market crash. God damn. That is absolutely brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Do you understand? Oh man, let's finish this video. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Oh, what'd I do here? Okay, let me go back. Sorry. Okay, come on.
Have an IBR and it's zero. The lender would use 0.5%. Okay? The lender will use 0.5% as your payment. So again, if you have 100,000 in student loans, I'm gonna repeat this again for those of you who are just joining. If you have a $100,000 student loan, the guidelines prior to yesterday, if you were deferred or even in the IBR, the lender would use 1% of that balance as your payment. Okay. Now, effective immediately, FHA changed the guidelines.
Hold up, man. I could feel that one in my heart, in my soul. Ooh, it's just like, it's like here, stupid. Oh, it's so bad. It's bad. You guys don't understand how bad. That makes absolutely no financial sense at all. CENTS. None. Zero. Oh.
And they are now saying that if you have an income-based repayment plan and on the credit report it shows a monthly payment, it could be $1. The lender will use that payment that's reported on the credit report as long as we can document it from the student loan creditor.
What?
And match it up. We can use that as the monthly payment, people. If your IBR, your income-based repayment plan says...
Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. If they go in there and see you put $1 on your IBR, you're telling them everything they need to know about you. You got to be a fucking idiot to ever do. That's dumb. That says more about you. You know what you're saying? I don't ever plan on paying my student loan debt back. That's what, if they go in there and see $0 or $1 or whatever number they're seeing in there, it doesn't fucking really matter, right? If they go in there and see $1 or $5, you're telling the banks that you don't ever plan on paying back your student loan debt. That's what you're saying. And at the same time, you think you're a homeowner. They already know that you're never going to be a homeowner because you haven't even paid back your student loan debt. You think you're going to pay off a fucking house? No, you're not. You are the only one that don't know that. Do you understand?
You have $0 as your payment, then a lender would use 0.5% of the balance of your student loans. Easy calculation. 100,000 in student loans times 0.05, you get $500. That will be your monthly payment. Okay. If your student loans are in forbearance, we would use 0.5% instead of 1%. This is the same for conventional loans. This has been in effect for conventional.
There they go. Throwing percent. You don't understand any of that because you believe. If you believe you can buy a house while you're having student loan debt other than your children, you don't understand none of that. Percent this, percent that, you don't understand that. You can't. Why? Because you're intrigued by what they're selling you. It's a business. MG, the mortgage guy, is not doing anything bad to you or he's tricking you or not. He's not doing any of that. He's selling you a product. That is his business, and it is a legal business. I don't care how he does it. I don't care. I don't give a shit about his customer service, if it's good or bad. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just telling you about the product he's selling you. That's it. Nothing. And there's more people just like him. He's not there's millions of those guys out there selling you subprime mortgage products. It doesn't matter. It's a business.
This is why I keep telling y'all, if you couldn't qualify for FHA, go to conventional. But now you can use this for FHA loans as well.
So let me put it this way so you guys can understand. In order for me to know what MG, the mortgage guy, is doing this business for, I would have to look at his personal credit report. His personal credit report will tell me if he's doing this strictly for business or he actually believes in what he's selling. So put it, for example, if I looked at his personal credit report and I see that he has an FHA mortgage, I will say he's just like you guys. He's all wrapped up. He doesn't know that doesn't make sense. Okay. But if I look at his credit report and it's blank like mine, I will strictly understand that he's doing that he's doing this whole stuff for business. If it's empty, like when you see my credit report, I don't have anything on it. It's blank. I mean, I got a credit score and you might see a credit card balance, right? But the rest of it's just blank, right? You'll see something, but it's just empty. There's nothing to show. If somebody looks at, hey, that's kind of personal. No, it's not. Nothing's on it. So here, you can see it. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm not going to show my address and everything. I just want people to see it. So if I look at it, if his credit report looked like my credit report, I would say, okay, cool. I see why he's doing this. All right, whatever. It's just business.
This is a home run. That's the super pros of this. Now let's talk about the cons, because there's always a gift and a curse. The cons is, you think the price is up now? Well, they're about to be super up and they're stuck. Because what's that's going to do? Create more buyers. It's up and it's stuck. I'm trying.
Now here's where he riles you up to thinking, you better hurry up. You better hurry up. The houses are going to run out. There's not going to be any left. You won't be able to afford it. You better hurry up. That's the frenzy. Like this is what I want you to do. Like in the very beginning, I told you to go look for that number on your credit report and put a negative in front of it. Now, when you see how much money you really have to buy a house, does it matter if you better hurry up, or does it matter if the housing prices are going up, or if there's a frenzy of people going out and buying house? Doesn't matter. You have no money to buy one, so who cares if they're doing that? So what? It doesn't matter. That's a mathematical illusion. Okay, it doesn't matter what they're doing. Okay, Don't fall for the frenzy. Oh, you better hurry. Okay, watch. Now listen.
I'm trying to tell you, it's going to create more buyers. Because now the folks who had 100,000, 200, 300,000 in student loan debt, and they had to use 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 as their monthly payment,
right?
And qualify. Now, guess what the hell's going to happen?
What?
They're going to listen to MG, the mortgage guy.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to tell them go put that damn student loan
into
IBR.
Yep.
Make it $5.
Make it $5.
They're going to use that payment.
Yep.
And now those folks are now going to reap into the market.
Sure is.
Now they're going to drive the prices up.
Okay. Now, did you hear what he just said? You hear what he just said? Now that the people that were really, really deep in student loan debt, now that the FHA changed the rules, now they're able to get back in the market with $400,000 and $500,000 in debt. Now they can finance a house for $3,000. Now they can be in debt for $700,000 in debt now because the new ruling. Why? Because MG, the mortgage guy, told them. See, that's how it works, baby. You see how it works? If you don't know, you can't buy a house with $400,000 in student loan debt, and you still think you can buy a house. Hey, they just open the doors right up for you. Oh, okay, yeah, that's sure, man. Go here, put your student loans in IBR. There they go pushing you guys to IBR again. You don't even listen. Are you listening? They keep pushing you to IBR. There must be some kind of deal going on. It doesn't. If they want that many slaves, because you guys will do it. Okay, I promise you. Because you want a house, you think you could be homeowners with student loans when you can't fucking do that. You can't do that. But they're gonna push you to IBR, saying, "Hey, government, look, I'm a loser. I don't even believe in myself that I can't even pay off student loan, no matter how much student loan debt I have out of 10 to 25 years of my fucking life. Oh man, yeah, I'm a loser. Okay, here you go. Clapping.
Gift and a curse, playboys and playgirls. Get with the goddamn program. I'm telling y'all, stop sitting on the sidelines waiting for miracles to happen. But y'all better get y'all ish together. Y'all better get it together, because I'm telling you, it's up and it's stuck and it's going to continue to go up because they're going to do everything in the power to continue this thing.
And I want you guys to understand what he's telling you is true. He's going to get you slave. He's one of the participants that's going to get you slaves in a frenzy. And you're going to be like, oh, I better hurry up. The only way I can do it fast right now is put it in IBR. Yes, exactly what he just said. And then you're going to do it. And then they're going to look on your credit report and see $1, see $5 or whatever. And they'll be like, yep, hook, line, and sinker. That amount of money paying towards your student loans, you're telling them everything they need to know. You don't plan on paying your student loan debt off ever. You're agreeing to be a slave till you're dead. That's it. Whatever, slaves.
Thing to keep going. All right? Please understand what I'm saying to you right now. It's great news, but it's also bad news.
It's all bad news.
It's also bad news.
It's all bad news.
It is also
It is all bad news.
There's going to be more buyers in the market, people. Please understand, if you think it's competition right now, wait till all the world starts hearing about.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna promise you this, slave, so you guys can understand something. You guys will only be competing with yourselves. People with money understand what's happening. You guys don't. You're only competing with yourselves. You think somebody that has money, you think they're going to go buy a house in cash for $20,000, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 over asking price? No, no. That's just a house. I'm not doing that. I'm not a slave. You mean pay more on something than what it's worth? No, I wouldn't be a multimillionaire if I did that. That makes absolutely no sense. CNTS, why would I do that? That makes absolutely no sense.
About this new changes. Wait until they hear this. Because when they hear this, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go get pre-approved. And now they're going to hit the streets.
Yes, they are.
And now,
yes, they are.
To get in the market, and they've been pissed off that they
yep.
didn't qualify for what they really want.
Yep.
Now they're about to do. Now they're going to be able to qualify for what they want now.
Yes.
So now the competition is going to be steep.
Yes, it will.
So ask everybody. y'all better get y'all shit together.
Better get it together.
Y'all better get it right. Because these folks about to come out here who have them high student loans, now they're gonna be out here in these streets.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. Look.
This is bad, man. This is like comedy. He's telling you the truth. All you slaves are gonna do that. He's exactly right. You guys are all gonna do it. The majority, I'm not gonna say all, but the majority of you are gonna do it. You're gonna do everything he's saying. Especially you young people. If you're in your 20s, listen, let me really explain something to you. If you are in your 20s, no, let's say late 20s, early 30s, because this is when they start hammering on you slaves, like you need to have a house by this age, 2.5 kids and a dog. All that shit it's a fucking program. Does your bank account agree? Say like you turn 29 or whatever, right? And you say, man, I'm supposed to be having a house right now. All you got to do is log into your bank account. Does your bank account agree that you should have a house because you're 29? Does your bank account agree to that? Then who cares what all the other slaves are saying? It don't matter. The only way to buy a house is in cash. It doesn't matter your age, slaves. It don't matter. They're going to get you. Oh, man, I'm telling you. She thirsty.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Let's go. So, if you want to get pre-approved, link is in my bio. My team is here to help you.
I bet they are.
We want to help service you guys. We're lending in 21 states. Go over to the Garland Mortgage Group Instagram page.
All right, I want to hear all that.
Tuned in today. Who just tuned in right now? I'm going to repeat this one more time, and then I'm out of here because I got to go to the gym. Because
we don't need to know all that. Let's go.
They just changed their policy when it comes to student loans.
All right, that's enough. You guys have to watch the. You guys have to watch the rest on. I don't have patience for that kind of stuff, right? I don't really. Hey, this is the only channel you're going to come to get the truth, man, the mathematical truth, all right? Now, again, this is not to say anything negative about MG, the mortgage guy, man. I'm only coming from a mathematical perspective. I don't care what he's selling. He ain't tricking me. I already know I don't go outside the laws of mathematics. If you just don't go outside the laws of mathematics, you'll understand, oh, that don't make any sense. Exactly, it don't make sense. Now, if you're maybe you're a follower to MG the mortgage guy, or maybe you just really don't understand what I'm saying, I can make it make sense, okay? Especially if you're a young person and you know you're your late 20s and you're thinking you're supposed to have a family and a house and a dog and a car and all this other stuff. I'm telling you, that's a program, okay? That's not, none of that is true. I'm telling you this from experience because that's what I thought. I thought since I was at this age, I should be having this. And the people that are telling you that are the unconscious slaves around YouTube. They're just telling you stuff like that. If you believe that, anything that do with your money, like when they tell you that you're supposed to be doing something with this money to do something with that, this is all you got to do. You got to say to yourself, every time somebody says that to you, you log into your bank account and you say, does my bank account agree with that? If it doesn't, you just say, okay, then you have to ignore it, because if your bank account doesn't agree to it, of investing cryptocurrency, putting away money for retirement or in your 401k plan, hey, just log into, hey man, they say, hey man, you put in, you get a job and they say, hey, if you put in 5 point, whatever, we'll match it at 3% or whatever they say. That's just like stuff on bait on hook. Like, hey, we'll give you something for free if you just give us back the money we just gave you. That's what they're really saying, but you don't really understand that, right? But each time they do that, you log into your bank account, say, can I put away, do I have enough money in my bank account to put away money for retirement? If the answer is no, you can't do it. Okay, there's no other way to do it. All right. There's always other ways to do it, and they'll sell you one. They will sell you a solution to whatever goal you think you can do with no money of your own. God damn, it's funny when I didn't even think about it, man. It's really funny. It is funny. They'll sell you a solution when there's only one. There's only one solution, but they'll sell you many. They'll sell you your future. Now, if you believe, again, there's only one way to buy a house. No, let's just go like this. You cannot, there's only one way to buy a house, and that's with cash. Okay. If you have student loan debt, that means you have no cash. Like if you, for example, if you've had student loan debt for 15 years and you've been living in your house for 10, that means your student loans are older than your mortgage. What that also tells me is that you didn't have any money to buy the house, because the very reason why you have a mortgage is because you have student loan debt. That's why you have a mortgage. Because if you didn't have student loan debt, you wouldn't have a mortgage. You understand, slaves? But since you don't know that, the banks sell you the solution. They sell you the things that exist outside the laws of mathematics. That's the best way I can describe it to you. That's true. You don't worry about a credit score. Now, like I said, I get a lot of links live. Who said Live sent that to me? SMD family member Live. Let me go and make sure I say that right. Live _from _215. Okay, I want to make sure I say that right. Anyway, but when you see the reason why I do videos like this, I want you guys to, I'm here to wake up the people that know something's wrong, that are walking around in the debt matrix right now, believing subprime mortgages are the way to home ownership when they're not. Okay. They're walking around knowing something's wrong, but they can't put their finger on it. Right. That was me. The last job I had, I was making $160,000 a year. Okay. Now, when I say that, that's gross. So I really wasn't making 160,000 once you take all the taxes out of it. Okay. And then whatever else I was having taken out of it. So I wasn't nowhere near what I thought. I had 160 in my brain, but I don't know why I had that. Okay. That was maybe when they hand me the piece of paper, say, hey, Mr. Young, this was what you're going to be making a year. You photo, I guess I did, the photos thing to the thing, 160 gross. Boom, that was just in my head. So everything I bought, it was based on money that I wasn't really getting. I was already underwater psychologically. I didn't know that. It just, when I think about that, it's just, you know what I could have did? Being debt free with $160,000 a year. The things I could have done, man, it's crazy. Let me put that up there again. What's up, Kwam? What's going on? Now, if you haven't seen the video, click on the link is in the description. Like I said, it was sent to me, and I was kind of just listening to the video, and when they came up, he's talking about some new FHA ruling. I haven't read it on it, but just hearing him talk about it is enough that's all I need to know about it, right? I don't really need to go any deeper about it because I know they're not talking to me. But anyway, it's like when I hear stuff like that, I think to myself, okay, why are they doing that? That's the first thing I think. Okay, why are they lowering the bar so more slaves can just jump over the edge, right? They're lowering the bar so the slaves just jump in head first. Why are they changing their mind about charging people more with higher student loan debt? And I'm thinking, why are they lowering? Why are they saying, okay, it's okay now? Why now? Because they're just trying to, in my mind, in my opinion, with these things combined, this is what's going to prevent the housing market crash, right? Because if they said no proposal, no lowering, this and that, everybody's going to get kicked out if you can't catch up with you. Because they already know if you're a year behind, because most of you can't even, you guys were probably a month behind just constantly, right? But if you're a year behind, they know you will never be able to catch up that much. You can't. You're in debt. People in debt have no money, right? So they know you'll never be able to catch up with that. And then you add penalties and fees on top of that. And then student loan unemployment stops. And then student loan payments start, they know you'll never be able to catch up. So they come up with this 40-year proposal, 40-year extension or something, just some crazy, just it's fucking crazy, really, right? And it's like, and then they combine with lowering the standards on the student loan, pushing people into IBR for some reason. I mean, it's just like it's like a well-oiled machine. It's just, and the only thing I can see is like, you guys are going to be in debt for at least the next 100 years, at least, because you're going to take what you're learning right now and you're going to pass it right down to your children. You're gonna tell them, hey, it's okay to keep your student loan debt all your life. It's okay to have a student loan older than your mortgage. It's okay to have subprime mortgages. That's what you guys are going to be saying to your children. That's what you're going to be saying. And it's just going to pass. It's until the next economic shift happens, like this 2020s. This is going to happen again, probably not for another 80 to 100 years. I mean, I won't be alive when it happens again. Put it that way, because this one was major. That was big. That was huge. It's still huge. And to be honest, it's like a Picasso painting. That's the best way I can describe it to you. It's like, it's a masterpiece. You guys don't even get it. It's a masterpiece. It deserves all the respect. It don't be like, when I say all the respect, don't be cheating on your taxes. Don't be hiding money. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do none of that, none of that, none of that. Doing hiding money and cheating on your tax. You know what you're doing? You're disrespecting the system. You're disrespecting because you don't understand it. You think you can just disrespect it, right? Because you don't get it. That's your problem. Since you don't trust the calculator, you decide you're going to disrespect the system. No, it doesn't work that way. That's your problem. You understand? That's your problem. Hey, you come here to the US? Yeah, this is the way it is. These are the rules here. Oh, okay. All right. All you got to do is trust math and you'll be rich. Okay, cool. That's it. You don't have to do none of that. Once you get out of debt and understand, you're like, oh, most definitely commands respect. Most definitely. Okay. Oh, first you got to own yourself. Oh, duh. In order for me to prosper here in the US, I must first own myself. Sure do. That's a number one. Slaves can't own anything. Slaves, you guys can't own nothing. That's why you have subprime mortgages, because you are slaves. That's why 3.5% sounds good to you, because you have no money. Oh, they accept people with lower credit scores? Yes, because you have no money and you don't pay your bills. That's why it sounds good to you. Whatever it takes to get you deeper in debt, and you're going to do it. Oh, what's PMI? What's this? What's that? You don't give a fuck. You don't care. You don't care. They call it private mortgage insurance. You hear the word insurance, you think it's for you. It's not for you. They do you guys bad, man. And hey, listen, when I say do you guys bad, it's your fault. It's not hey, listen, MG, the mortgage guy, that's not his fault. That's your fault. That's your fault if you don't trust your calculator. That's your problem. Like, for example, if you're listening to this and you're a person that cheats on your taxes, lying, I'm not talking about fucking up. I'm not talking about doing dumb shit, because even when you fuck up on your taxes, even fuck ups are easily proven. I'm talking about tax evasion. Whatever you're doing, I'm going to just give you a hint. Whatever you're doing will never make mathematical sense. It won't. So when you get out there and you start doing stuff, you're fighting against the laws of mathematics. That's what you're doing. And the laws of mathematics are never wrong, ever. They're never wrong, ever. 1 + 1 will always equal 2. No matter what color you are, man, woman, cat, dog, is Chinese, Russian, whatever. 1 + 1 = 2 in every single ethnicity, everything. It doesn't matter. You understand? I hope you guys understand. When you choose to not trust mathematics, the financial system is against you. Period. There's nothing, doesn't matter how you feel about it, doesn't matter. When you have two mortgages on one house, wait a minute, you don't even know the first reason. You get one mortgage, right? You don't even understand the reason why you got a mortgage is because you couldn't afford to buy it. So you go ahead and put two mortgages on one house. Do you know what kind of financial statement that makes to the people that understand that you don't do that? That makes absolutely no sense. And then while at the same time talking about you're pulling out the equity of your house. Wait a minute. You didn't even have the money to buy the house. You got two mortgages on one house and you still believe the equity in the house is yours that you didn't even have the money to buy? Do you understand, slaves? You're slaves. Slaves can't own anything. But if you don't understand that, that's who subprime mortgages are designed for. That's who they're designed for, people that don't know. You can't own a house with a subprime mortgage. You know how long that's going to take? You know how much you're going to be paying? No, obviously you don't. Why? You have a subprime mortgage. That means below the best. Unconscious slaves, when you're offered a subprime mortgage, you don't know to say, hey, wait a minute, is that the best mortgage? You don't know to say that. You're just crossing your fingers, hoping for the debt, hoping for the keys that they drop in your hand that mean absolutely nothing. You didn't buy anything, you had no money. And if you believe, listen, if you believe it takes 30 years, if you believe it takes 30 years of your life to pay off one house, this is what you're saying. Okay, this is what you're saying. Say like the house is $300,000, okay? This is what you're saying. Out of 30 years of my life, I don't think I'm gonna make $300,000. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. Out of 30 years of my life, you think slaves know that? They don't know that. That's why I can say this out loud. They can't hear me. Slaves can't hear me. I don't want them to hear me. I don't want the economy to change. Okay. I'm trying to really want you guys to understand that. I don't want it to change because it's all a choice. You choose what side of it you want to be on. You trust math or you don't, period. If you believe retirement is an age, that's your problem. You have bad financial habits in your 20s, and your 30s, and your 40s, and your 50s, and then you get to 60, you think, what? And they don't, you think it's going to change in retirement or something? What? I don't get it. You think the people, when you retire, do you think the people that you owe money to care if you retire? What they got? Why are you telling us? We just want the payments. Period. It doesn't, and you make less. Oh man, that's your problem. I'm telling you, man. You listen to videos like that, man. It's bad, man. When I watch videos like that, I just like, damn. I personally, listen, I could not do that. There is no way you will ever, ever, I don't care how big I get, you will never, ever see me promote a subprime product. That would be going against everything I believe in. I would never do that. Those are my feelings, though. That has nothing to do with business. Nothing. Okay. I want you guys to don't mix it up. You know, when they say never mix feelings with business, that means never mix feelings with mathematics. People in the debt matrix, they say it wrong because you guys don't really understand what that means, right? Never mix your feelings with mathematics, ever. That's what they really mean. I wish somebody would have said it to me like that. Hey, man, never, because math, you cannot count money without using mathematics. You can't. That's impossible. So if somebody would have said, hey, you know math and money are one, right, LJ? Yeah. Never mix your feelings with math and you'll be rich. That's it. So if I would have been taught this rule, that simple statement at a young age, and then got out into the working world amongst all the other unconscious slaves, and if they would have said, "Hey man, you know you can get a house with a 30-year mortgage," I would have said, "Wait, that doesn't make any sense at all," and I would have just ignored them. I would have straight, "No, you can't. No, you can't do that." What do you mean? The only way to buy a house is with your money. You have to go out, get a job, work, whatever you're going to do. It doesn't take 30 years to pay off a house. One house. 30 years of your life? No, it doesn't. And that's true. When I hear commercials about even when I was, listen to this, even before I got out of the debt matrix, when I used to hear TV talk about, oh man, Social Security is going to dry up by the time you're certain age, I used to think to myself, why would I depend on that? I would just, okay, I'll just create my own. That's what I thought as when I was in the debt matrix, but I thought I could do it by, the normal, hey, go to college, get a career, get a job, finance a house, finance a nice car, finance vacations, and blah, blah, blah. I was going that route when I didn't know that all you got to do, go to college. If you want to make it the fastest way, higher education at that particular time is going to get you the most amount of money. Yeah, that's true. Yep, go there, go to college. If you don't have the money, go ahead and get a student loan. But if you get a student loan, you go to college for 4 years, you pay your student loan off in 4 years, period. You don't finance a house, you don't buy anything because you're going to know you're in debt. Oh, I can't buy a house if I got $50,000 in student loan debt. True. I got to pay that off first, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Then you do those steps, making all that money. Because the more, what slaves don't tell you this is, you guys say this, but you don't really understand it. They say, oh, well, the more they make, the more you make, the more they take. Well, yeah, that's true. That is absolutely, according to the IRS tax code. Yeah, if you're in this tax bracket, okay, yeah, you pay that. That's true. But if you're in debt, that's true. But they also say, oh, but there's ways to reduce that. They say this is the rule. Yeah, but there's also the ways to, if you do this, we can reduce that and bring it down. They also tell you that, right? But if you're in debt, you can't do that because it takes money to give to the government to reduce that. But if you have no money, you can't do what they're offering because you're in debt. So you stay in a high tax bracket. So you pay. The more you make, the more they take of your money. Not everybody's money that makes the same amount of money as you. That's not true. Refinanced our house in her 70s. See? You guys, I mean, honestly, I want a house, but the thought of a mortgage absolutely terrifies me. Absolutely terrifies me. To sit and sign on the dotted line. I don't care how many years it is. It doesn't really matter. I don't care if it was 1 year. I mean, I would buy it if it was just 1 year, but you know what I'm saying, right? It doesn't matter. Because signing on a dotted line, it would tie me to the bank, and I just don't like that. I just don't like that. I don't like that. That many years, I promise you this amount of money, no matter what happens in my life, if something happens, I'm still promising you this money, even if I don't have it. And they say, okay, but if you don't, we're going to kick you out of this. Can you imagine how many people that has happened to? Can you imagine? Be in the house for years and years and years, lose their job, lose the house, all that money gone. What's up, the geek? What's happening?
What's going on, LJ?
What's happening?
Man, you say that, man. I had a couple of coworkers. They were at the end of their retirement and buying houses before they retired. And I'm talking about like 4 to 3 years before they retired, they went into a mortgage. And I scratched my head. What the hell are you doing?
They don't know. They don't know.
Done that 30 years ago.
They don't know. They absolutely don't know. It's hard to watch.
Yeah, it was hard for me to watch. I was like, and I'm still a debt slave. So I was like, I knew that wasn't right.
Well, plus, I mean, and at the same time, it has to be that way for us to be free. It has to be like that.
Yeah, I guess you still need to have some unconscious people.
No, we have to. The majority have to be unconscious, or else it wouldn't work. Think about it. This is what I want you to think about. Do you think car lots would still be in business if they knew what you and I know?
Nah, they
What
would.
about credit card companies? You think they still be in business?
Nah,
See,
nobody would get credit.
see what I'm saying? Then the whole thing would collapse. That can't happen. That cannot happen. I don't want that.
Yeah, I guess we couldn't get rich if we didn't have people like that.
Correct. It takes slaves. We need slaves. They're important. Like with just the video I did today. Even though what he's saying makes absolutely no mathematical sense, we need people like him selling slaves' dreams. That's important.
Yeah, because it's like they constantly modifying stuff just to let's
Get them
lower
in
the
there.
bar so we can get more slaves.
You see how you can see it now? See how you can see it?
I can see it as clear as day now.
It's like, okay, why are you lowering the bar now? Oh, so more slaves can come in. Gotcha. Okay. All right, I get it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it really
Don't
is.
that, I mean, think about it. Don't that shit commands respect?
Got to. You gotta respect it.
Gotta respect it. Gotta. You think I'm a disrespected by doing tax evasion? Hell no, I ain't doing none of that. That's total disrespect. Total.
Yeah,
Something that you don't even have to do. That total disrespect.
Yeah. You can't get nothing. What they say, you can't get something for nothing.
Can't get something for nothing. But that's what they sell them though. They sell them. Hey, they know they ain't got no money, so they sell them these products because they ain't got no money. Of course, it sounds good to them.
Yeah, because just when you played the video, I'm like, man, I probably would have. I say about 17 years ago, I probably would have thought like, oh man, this sounds great.
Me too.
I probably would have been one of them jumped in. Like, yeah, let me
I'm
do
with
this.
you. You know why? You know how I know I would have believed him? Because I did it. He just wasn't the person I went through. There's a whole bunch of people like him, right? I did it back in 2006, 7, something like that. I had absolutely no money. Got some kind of mortgage. I didn't even know the type of mortgage I got. Didn't even know. I just was signing papers just to get to that house so I can call myself a homeowner. Did all that. I would have believed him back then.
I almost did that back in 2000. I think it was 2007. I went through this program called NACA or something like that.
Oh,
and yeah. I went through the process, and it was some kind of paperwork they was holding up. It didn't go through for some reason. Looking back, I'm glad it didn't.
Right. And you know what I'm happy about? I was about a year into that house, year and a half, right? And that year in Seattle, we had a very bad rainstorm. Very bad. It was horrible. It flooded the whole house out. Flooded to where they had to call FEMA in and stuff like that. So I got out of that house because of that. Now, at the time, I was feeling upset that I got flooded out of my brand new house. I was like, oh my God, this and that. But now that I'm out and understand how it all works, thank God that happened, because I would have never owned that house ever. I would have never owned it.
Yeah, all that.
Because I got a subprime mortgage, and then as soon as I got in, they said, "Hey, you know, you got some equity. You got about $50,000. You want to do this and that to get the $50,000? You could pay off some bills." And I said, "Hell yeah, let me get that." Gave me a line of credit. I was just spending it on bullshit. Yeah, man.
Yep, because that reminds me of a cousin of mine bought a house right around the subprime mortgage crash. It was, I think she bought it 2005 or 6 or something like that. And man, she had all these credit cards and like from I don't know the institute. I think it was HBCU or Bank of America or something like that. She had like maybe $70,000 or $80,000 in credit cards from them. Had 2 car payments. And just bought that house, and I'm sitting there off of a $70,000 a year salary. I'm like, wait a minute, this is not adding up at all.
It's crazy, man. You know, it's like this. I was thinking about this the other day. I said, now say like somebody makes $100,000 at a job, okay, and then they come rolling up in a $60,000 car, okay, that they just bought. They think they just bought. Now, you know, right off the bat that they're making car payments because they couldn't have paid $60,000 for the car because they only make 100 minus taxes. So they couldn't pay cash for. So they're telling the world, everybody at they're telling their boss, not the coworkers, their boss, hey boss, I'm gonna be here for at least the next 5 years because I got to pay for this car. So while all the other coworkers are running out saying, oh man, look at this nice car. Ooh, we know Bobby's making the big bucks. He must have got a raise. Nah, the boss is up in the window looking down, talking about, yep, he's going to be begging for overtime soon. You watch. Sure enough. Oh, boss, can I get some overtime? Can I work on the weekends? The boss is like, yeah, I already knew you were going to ask that. How? That new car, slave? I mean, he ain't going to say that, but they don't know that.
It's funny you say that. I got a coworker now. He just bought a house. Well, not bought. He renting a house through the bank. Like in the last 4 months. I said, yeah, they got him real good. He's gonna be there for a minute. He's
hard,
working like round the clock.
It's really hard to watch, but when I listen to videos like this one, I think to myself, and then I look at the views. He posted 1 day ago, and it's almost like 15,000. You know what that tells me? It's like, look how many slaves. Look how many are just, there's like, oh my God, they're probably sharing that video with all their fucking friends and shit. It's like all the people like them. It's crazy, man. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And when they see how many views he got, they're gonna think, "Ooh, he must know his shit because look how many views he has. Ooh, he's MG, the mortgage guy. He's in all these states. Yeah, whatever you believe, slave."
Yeah, it's really sad to see. And it's funny. I just walk down the street or drive down the street and see people in these houses and have these cars. I'm like, I know that none of them know, but I would say probably a good 90%, 90 to 95% or have some kind of payment on these houses and cars.
Right. Of course.
And I just shake my head. I'm like, and these people actually think they're doing something. But hey, we need them though. We need them.
We do. We need them. Think about it. This is what you like. If you take, this is what I do. I take myself out of judging them. This is how I take myself out of judging them. They obviously don't trust math, and that's where it stops. It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter if they do know. You just obviously don't trust math, and you just leave it, really.
You know what, LJ? Since I started listening to you, and I've been reading The Science of Getting Rich, and he said one thing that just made a good point to me, and just it was like a car that hit me. He said the laws of getting rich is mathematical.
Yep, they are.
And then when riches come to you, you wonder like, man, where did they come from? And it makes sense. It's a law.
When you understand the laws, you really understand that the rich are not evil and mean. They're not holding anything back from you or hoarding all the money. They just trust the laws of mathematics. That's it.
That's it.
It don't care. It doesn't matter if I'm black and I know 1 + 1 = 2. It doesn't matter.
Goes across all humanity. Doesn't matter. The law.
You see through everything now. Once you get out of debt, you see the whole structure, everything.
Yep.
Once you, I kind of can tell, you know how you still look at people and you feel sorry for them. Those are feelings, right? And I understand, especially if they're close to you, but to just not even feel that, you just got to understand that they just don't trust math. That's it. Or else they wouldn't do it. Because I think every time I see somebody do that, I say to myself, would I do that? No. Then they obviously don't know.
Yeah. It's as simple as taking out your calculator.
Sure is. That's why these shirts that are going to be coming up here soon, that's why they're going to take SMD off. You guys watch, mark my words, because they're going to have statements on there that millions of people will never had ever heard these statements. You guys watch me in my community, right? You see the statements I put in there? Millions of slaves don't understand what any of those statements mean. None, zero. So if you guys buy these shirts, be prepared to be answering questions, but make sure they answer with their calculator so they can walk away never forgetting them talking to you. They will never forget you. If they say, what does that mean? I'm not a homeowner if I have a mortgage. And then you say, hey, pull out the calculator. They say, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. And then you say, does the calculator say you're a homeowner? Then they're going to look at the calculator. They're going to say, well, no. And then you look at them and say, then why do you believe you are? And then once they leave, they're going to be thinking about what you said, because they're never going to have ever heard that in their life, ever.
I got a couple of my friends thinking, just what you even tell us. It's like, how is it that you call yourself a homeowner when the house was only built 30 to 45 days, and then you have to pay 30 to 40 years on it? So how does that make you a homeowner? So I mean, to have a mortgage, to pay that for 30 years,
right?
It doesn't make any sense.
Because they don't look at it like this. They're like, the house is 300,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't look at it like this. It's going to take me 30 years to pay off $300,000. I mean, if they looked at it that way, they'd be like, wait a minute, damn, that's like only 100,000 every 10 years. And then they start dividing that shit up, and they were like, man, I don't really believe in myself.
When you look at it like that, it's like, yeah, like, man, I can't do, all I could do is the minimum in life.
Right. How long did it take you to build this house? 30 days? And you want me to pay on in 30 years? Okay, where do I sign? That don't even make any sense.
No, it doesn't at all.
And then they walk around going and telling all their friends, I'm a homeowner. I'm a homeowner. No, you're not. Where you get that from? The bank told you that. Gotcha. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. It's when you really think about it, it's like, wow.
Like, just think about, like, when this is another one. I'm gonna make sure this goes on the shirt, right? What's the difference between people with mortgages and renters, right? Mm-hmm. Then it's going to say renters know they're renting. Now that's going to confuse the shit out of slaves, right? They're not going to understand what that means. What do you mean renters know they're renting? What are you talking about? And then I'm going to make them pull out the calculator and do that same equation that says, do you look like you're a homeowner, or do you look like you're renting from the bank? What's the calculator say? They're just going to be stuck, man. Oh man, these shit's going to be crazy.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to slowly been kind of pushing some of my friends your way. Hey, look, man, you need to listen to him. He's making logical.
How many are receptive? How many are receptive?
That I don't know yet. I haven't gotten back with him. So I just gave him your website and your YouTube page yesterday. So I'm gonna see this week.
If I was you, I wouldn't bring it up to him again, because I promise you, if it clicked with them, they would be reaching out to you. I promise you. Because when things are sent to me and it clicks with me, I'm in constant communication with the person that sent it to me, right? Because it's a new, like, oh my God, wow, you know?
Right.
But if they don't reach out to you, they haven't bothered looking. I don't want you to waste your time, because you know time is valuable.
That is true.
I don't even want you to waste that time trying to figure out if they actually watched it. You know, that's just a waste of your time.
That is true. The time is precious.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be dead. I look at I don't care how much time it is. I always look at it. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I look and say, what? Okay, am I in control of this time? Why can't I do something or whatever, man? It's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I won't waste my time with that then. I gave them the information. They had to run with it themselves.
Correct. They're gonna see you, because we know that debt is stress, right? We know debt is stress.
Yeah. When
they see you stress free all the time, because you got to remember, stress is a vibration that you can ask any slave. Are you stressed? Are you stressed? They'll all say yes. They will all say yes, because they believe being stressed is normal. They don't understand that debt causes stress. But anyway, when you don't have that same vibration because debt doesn't exist, they're going to wonder why you're always happy and never anything, even in the bad situations, you don't really trip. You know, if you got a flat tire, you ain't gonna be cussing everybody out. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, I just got to change the tire. Like just happened to me the other day. Let me tell you this quick story. I'm driving down, me and my girl, we took, we're going somewhere to go to dinner or something, right? No, we were going to shopping, and then we're going to go to dinner. I'm driving my truck, my two-door Yukon. All of a sudden, it just stops on me. And then the oil pressure went all the way to 0. So I pulled right over into this gas station and looked underneath the truck, and I saw oil pouring out the bottom of the engine. And now this is the moment that you can either trip or you could stop and look at all the good things this situation happened. So this is what I did. It was a nice day. I was right on the road to where I could just pull right into a gas station. I got AAA, so the tow was free to the auto mechanic that I had to tow to.
Mm.
And then come to find out, it was something that they forgotten to tighten or something they did because they had recently did something to my truck and found out something popped loose or something that they had. So they fixed it for free. Mm. Now, I didn't bother blowing up and pissed at my girlfriend and, mad because the truck broke down. I didn't feel any of that. And we still went to dinner last night. Had her brother come pick her up. Went and got the other car, met me at the auto shop where I dropped the car off and went to dinner. Mm. You don't trip on stuff like that anymore. It just happens. Okay, I got a flat. Something went wrong with the engine. I don't care. Put it to the shop, fix it. Why? Because you always have the money to fix it. It don't matter.
Yeah, that's a nice feeling to have. Just say, okay, it's broke. Pay for it. Keep moving. It's
a wonderful feeling, man. When I saw all that oil, I could have said, oh, shoot, I'm going to need a new engine. And all this stuff would have ran through my brain, right? But it come to find out it was just nothing. It was nothing. Everything was free.
Yeah.
And then when they see that on you, that you don't trip, they're going to start asking you questions. They're going to be like, man, what's up, man? Why can you ain't never this and that and stressed? And then you just tell them. That's when they're going to be open to hear.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can't wait because I'm so close now. I can't wait.
How long you think you got? How much time?
To the end of this year.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I know that feeling. I got it. I know that feeling. See, it's probably worse for you because I didn't know I was a slave until I got to zero because I didn't have nobody pumping me up, showing me what's it going to be like when I get there. Right. So it's probably worse for you. Once I got to zero, that's when I knew I wasn't a slave.
Oh man, it's like every day I'm like, man, I gotta get this done. Gotta get it done. I'm like, I'm right. Freedom.
Because you're gonna be free. You're a slave. That's why it's probably worse for you.
Yeah.
That's an awesome feeling, ain't it?
Oh my God. I'd rather be a conscious slave than an unconscious slave.
Exactly.
Trying to figure out why things are happening the way they are.
Yes. Exactly. It's a freedom, like Andre said, freedom is an asset. Just think about it. It's an asset. Slaves don't know freedom's an asset, and none of them own it. None of them. Mm. They don't even know they don't own it. That's what's crazy.
You know what you just said when you said that, it had made me think of this story where this couple they only made like $13,000 a year, but they lived like they were millionaires. Mm-hmm. Because they had the little house was paid off. Mm-hmm. They did whatever they did for a living, and it was like, wow.
Imagine somebody shared this with you when you were in your 20s, and you got a house and paid off your house in your 20s. Can you imagine imagine your bank account?
Before I hopped on, I was thinking about that. I was like, my God, if I had this when I was 25,
right?
Ooh, I would have at least $300,000-$400,000 sitting in the bank right now.
A paid off house, and that's without investing in nothing. You just keeping it in the bank. You no invest in stocks and bonds. You know how much money you would have in the bank with no mortgage or rent starting at 25? Oh man.
Oh man. Anybody got a time machine out there?
Ooh, I would. You know what? I refuse to add up that money. I absolutely refuse to. I'm not going to ever add that money up ever.
Yeah.
Good thing I can't, because I'm sure I'm gonna miss a few places I moved when I was young, just thinking rent was normal. Whatever, rent's rent.
Right. That was my mindset. Well, you gotta pay, you gotta live some way.
Right, exactly. It's like, and just like blue collar life down here, he said, once you get out of debt, you really see how much a car is a waste. Once you understand that, okay, I'm gonna pay a car cash. I'm gonna get this bad boy below book value. I'm not going to have any special plates on it and all this other stupid nonsense. I'm going to get the basics of what I am forced to pay, period.
Mm-hmm. That and once I get free in my car, oh my goodness, I can. And you know the funny thing is, I had bought a car like what was this? This is I guess about 10 years ago, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I paid it off in like 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have just left it as is and just had it fixed, and I got another car.
Right. Well, you know what? I think of, when I think back, I financed so many cars, and I thought each time I upgraded on a finance car, I was somehow more money-ish. I don't know what I was doing. Every time I would get another car. And what I didn't really understand is that I caught myself in this circle of once you keep refinancing cars, now you always owe more on the car than what it's worth. So
Yep.
every time you finance a new one, you're financing equity from the old one into the new one, which is pushing you deeper. Now you're caught in the cycle. And I had got caught in that cycle. And luckily I had a friend back then that bought me out of that cycle. He paid off my car. He saw what I was doing. He had gotten a settlement, and I didn't really understand the significance of this, but he was a really close friend. He took the cash, paid off the car. All I had to do was pay him back and got me out of the cycle.
Oh man, that was a great deal.
That was a great deal. He was a good friend. Good
Yeah.
friend.
Whew, man, all of us don't have friends like that.
No, a lot of people don't. But SMD is here to help people don't get caught up in that.
Yep.
Because right now on the outside, people that see people refinance cars every 3 years, other unconscious slaves believe those people got money because they believe only people with money would finance new cars every 3 years, and only slaves do that.
I guess that would be the same as leasing, because I've known people who would lease a car every 3 to 4 years, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Well, you could have just bought the car.
Correct.
If you're paying.
Well, that's why, in my opinion, that's why they came out with leases. Because have you noticed lease payments are less than regular monthly payments?
Yeah.
So it makes them feel like they can, they come up with saying, hey, you're not trapped in it. After 3 years, you can do this and trade it up and all this other stupid nonsense. But the main thing is the low payment. They already know. That's why they make it so low. That's what they're attracted to, the low monthly payment.
But the thing is, out of those leases, you're stuck to a certain amount of miles a year or something like that.
They got so many restrictions on them leases. Oh, man. It's horrible. Horrible. But they think leasing, because you got to remember, slaves think leasing and buying is different, because they think financing, they're calling financing buying, right? So they're already confused there, but they don't know financing and leasing are the same. They don't, the bank still owns the car.
It's word magic. That's all it is.
It is. It's just word magic. But I don't know how they convince slaves to call, like, there's only one way to buy a car, that's cash, right? But they have convinced them that financing is the same as buying. Crazy, huh? It's brilliant, man. It's absolutely brilliant.
Hey, all I could do is tip my hat off all of these marketers and advertisers.
You have to. Well, half the people advertise, and you got to understand, the majority of those people are slaves too. They're just following whatever, right? Following the paycheck, and they might be good at advertising, but the majority of them are still in debt. They're just good at what they do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Leash payments.
You help me to realize once I do get out of debt and I go into business, ask do you have a student loan? Are you still paying on it?
Yes.
Once they say yes, well, no, thank you. I'm going to take my business elsewhere.
Exactly. And I don't care if they understand it. It doesn't matter. It's nothing personal. I'm going to put that on the shirt, leash payments. They're going to be like, what is leash payments? Yeah, I'll explain it to you. See, stuff like that. You put that on the shirt, unconscious slaves have no idea what that means. If you put on leash payments, they're going to be like, what's that mean? Because they're going from a distance, they're going to see lease, right? And then when they get close, they're going to see leash. And then it's going to force them to ask, what does that mean? And then I'm going to say, pull out your calculator. I'll show you.
Or you can say last payment. Put the last on you.
No, that would be interest. Interest is last payments. Interest is last payments. Each time the longer you keep that money, you get a whip every single month. Here's some interest. And you know what they turn around? Can I have some more? Where do I sign? Right. I want some more lash payments.
Man, it's funny. I go in some of these neighborhoods. I'm seeing like you might see about 5 or 6 cars, brand new cars in the driveway. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I know they getting their back broken off of that.
Oh yeah, I mean, look on YouTube. You'll see these guys financing high-end cars. They'll tell the whole world, "Hey, yeah, I got this Corvette, Lamborghini, and you know how much my monthly payment is?" I was like, "Click, turn right off." Well, I don't need to know anything else. You mentioned a car payment. I don't care what kind of car you got. Click. That's the bank's car, and the bank don't give a shit about what you think about that car.
Nope. And even if you total it out, the bank still want their money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got to follow their rules. That's why when you finance a car, they force you to have full coverage insurance. If they didn't force slaves to have full coverage insurance, they wouldn't, and they would lose. So they force them to have full coverage insurance. Hey, you want our money? Yeah. You got to do what we say, slave. Probably also makes them probably force them to have the lowest deductible on their insurance plan, because if they allow the slaves to make it too high, a slave will get in an accident, won't have $1,000 to get it fixed, and then they're gonna stop making payments. So they probably force them to say you got to have a $250 a month deductible, which is the highest premiums on your insurance.
That's crazy.
But think about it. Think about it. When I was in debt, I really didn't understand why deductibles existed. That made absolutely no sense to me. I was like, you could pay insurance for years and years and years, but you still have a deductible. Yeah, I was like, that don't make any sense. You know why that is? Because if they didn't have deductibles, and this is my opinion, okay? If they didn't have deductibles, slaves would abuse it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they would abuse it. If they didn't have to pay something, the slaves would abuse. They'd be like, "Oh man, I can't afford these car payments anymore," and then they would just go crash it or let somebody steal it or whatever. But when they know they have a deductible to get it fixed, they'd be like, they think twice. It's
never even realized the psychological part of this.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that. I didn't, because you think about it. If you're financing a car, you already don't know. Okay.
Right.
So now they're going to take it. Okay. Well, since they don't know, we got to protect our money. Okay. We got to create a deductible so they don't abuse it and just try to get out of payments by doing something wrong with the car, whatever. Right. Creating accidents so they can get paid, shit like that. If they know they got to put some money in to fix their shit, they think twice.
Especially with the gap insurance.
Oh God, man. If a person even listening to this and you got gap insurance, they're financially abusing you.
Say, let me take you into this room and do things to you.
Sure do.
That's exactly what that gap is.
Yep. And they're going to say you're going to like it. Why? Because you want that car. You want that car that bad that they can financially abuse you. And you're saying yes. Especially if you're coming in a car lot and you're financing a car and you're rolling negative equity from the previous car into the new loan.
Oh, I had a friend, she did that. I was like, why did you do that? You should have just walked away and just bought a car cash.
In the back room, they got to be laughing at you. They got to be laughing at you. Oh man, if you roll negative equity into a car goes down in value. So whatever they're selling this car to them, right? This car is never going to be that price. It's never going to be that value again as soon as they drive it off the lot. And they're upside down in it before they even leave the lot. Because you got to remember, first they dig them in the hole by going by their gross income.
Yep.
That's money that they're not even going to get.
That's the magical.
That's the trick. That's the trick.
Yep.
Here, what's your gross income? They tell them this. I'm like, I wouldn't even do this because I wouldn't even walk in there, right? But I would say, hey man, why are you going by my gross income? You think Uncle Sam gonna help me make my payments or something? That's what I would say. The IRS ain't gonna help me make my payments. Right. They're gonna be like, what do you mean? That's gross income don't mean I'm gonna get that money. Crazy, man. Do you think I knew that? I didn't know that. You know what I thought? This is what I thought when they went by my gross income. Ooh, I can get more car. That's exactly what I thought. I said, "Ooh, I can get the LS instead of the LT because they're gonna go by my gross income." Hell yeah! I was like, "Oh my god!" When
It's funny
when I think about myself back then, I'd be like, "Oh my god, you dumb! Oh, you so dumb."
man, it's funny you say that because when I bought my car, well, at renting my car until I paid off,
Mhm.
I went into my credit union. They offered me $30,000 for me to buy a car. So they gave me a check for $30,000. So I could go to any car dealership I wanted to buy a car.
Right, right.
And I wanted a Nissan Maxima.
Mhm.
I think it was a 2000. I think I wanted a 2017 Maxima. But everybody was trying to, I knew how much they were roughly around by 20,000
Right.
something like
Mhm.
that. That was what I
Mhm.
was wanting to pay, but they trying to get me to pay the 27, 28,000. I'm like, no,
Of course.
I'm not doing that. So I said, you know what? All I want to pay is under 15,000. So I ended up settling on a Toyota Corolla for 12,000. And every time I would go into a dealership, they always trying to get me to get this higher car. I'm like,
Of course.
you know what? It felt good. It was almost like I actually did have money in my pocket. I was
Right.
able to walk right on out because I'm like, I'm not.
You know what? You know when you think about it, you know what a check really is. You know what a check
What's,
really is. When they
what's that?
walk into a dealership with a check, the check really says to the dealership, "Fuck you! I already got him. He's mine. So you can't get more than this. We already own him. Sorry."
I hadn't even looked at it like that. I
So
guess you're right.
you only can have this much. So you better do your best to max it out. That's it.
Right.
That's all you get.
Exactly. And the thing, a lot of them sales people will get mad at me when I walk out. It's like, wait a minute, where you going?
Right.
Like, I don't need to be here. I'll break
Right.
off with somebody else.
Sorry, this slave is ours. You can't have him. Sorry, Bank of America. Sorry, Wells Fargo. We already own them.
Yeah, because they'll still want you to come in and run your credit and all that. I'm like, no, you don't need to do all that. Where's the paperwork so I can just
Right,
sign and leave?
right, right. Because
They still trying to,
you know what they probably do if you walk in with a check and they still ask to run your credit report. They probably want to see how good your shit is, so they could probably upgrade you. So you take that check. Hey, I bet you take that check and use it as a down payment on the $50,000 car. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yep.
They just don't stop.
I've actually had an offer like that. Like, man, just go ahead and use this and you can get this car.
Of
And I'm
course.
like, I looked at them, I'm like, I might be a fool, but I ain't that much of a fool.
Of course. So you have two payments. You'll owe your credit union or your bank, and you'll owe whatever financial institution that finances the other part of the. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's but again, it has to be that way.
Yeah, it does.
It has to be that way. They gotta feel like they're doing something if they come in there with the check instead of going through the whatever you think.
Yeah, and the sad part is when I bought the car, like I say, like a year later, I end up losing my job.
Mm.
I was like,
Well, when you told the bank, what'd they say? Oh, we're sorry. We'll skip your payments. What'd they say?
oh, yep. They say, oh, we'll give you a forgiveness on a couple of payments,
Yep.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, it still harass you.
Of course, because they don't want that car. Of course, they're gonna help, but I guarantee they took them payments and put them to the back.
Oh yeah,
They
definitely.
didn't forgive them. They just moved them.
Right, exactly.
Well, and plus they're gonna make more money because you ain't make. If they forgive payments, that means you ain't paying nothing. So whatever those payments are, now they're gonna make more interest off those payments because you didn't pay down any principal during them times.
Mm-hmm.
More money, just money out. They make money out of thin air because you remember, paper money doesn't exist for slaves.
Oh
right?
yeah, there is no money in this system.
There is no for slaves. For people with money, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's another discussion. But yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, and what I'm saying, it physically exists. You can hold it in your hand and you can see it, right?
Yeah, right.
So it does physically exist. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
They don't know, even though they can hold it, they don't really understand that it doesn't physically exist for them.
Correct. Because they're in the negative.
Huh? Yeah, they're in the matrix. Exactly. Yeah. They're in the matrix. They don't know that though. Because that's why I'm not gonna put slaves on shirts, because there's too many unconscious slaves to take that the wrong way. And I wouldn't want my followers getting in fights and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
We don't need to do that. I'm gonna just make sure there's statements on there that they won't get to force them to ask questions, because the statements will be so powerful they won't even be able to have an opinion on it because they won't understand what it means. See what I'm saying? Right. They can't have an opinion on something they don't understand.
Yeah, you know how emotionally people can be. Like a slave, who you calling a slave? Like, oh,
correct.
Whoa.
Right. Oh, you against your black people? It's like, whoa, I'm not talking about that. And good luck. Then what kind of slave is there? I seen on TV. Oh shit, you talking about TV shows? Okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Yep.
Nah, man. That's why I love what I do, man. I love helping people like you, hearing your story. I love that you know how you share with the people your experience of how you're experiencing things, because other people need to hear that, because that helps them on their journey, you know?
Yeah. I want to help.
How old are you now?
I'm 43. I'll be 44 this year. Matter of fact, in another 3 months.
You're gonna be 44.
Yep.
Hey man, that's when I woke up around 41ish, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started waking up, and so that's a good age. I know it don't feel like it when you're that age. You think, oh
man,
my God.
I wish I could have woke up at least 10 years ago.
Right.
I've been great with that.
And that's part of the process, right? Wishing I would have woke up at this age instead of, because it's so like amazing, right? You're
right.
Like, oh damn, you know, you look back, but you can't do that. You got to say, okay, thank God I know now. All right, what am I going to do now?
And you know what? Looking back, LJ, when I first I basically left home when I was about 25, 26, something like that. And I had very little debt. I think I had a little bit of student loan debt, maybe like 10,000. And I eventually like paid that off probably within 5 years when I moved from home, and did not realize how good I had it. You know, if I hadn't started refinancing stuff, and
you didn't know.
Yeah, manage my money a little better. I'm like, man, I would have been in a much better position.
Right. And see, I'm trying to and this is what I'm talking about too. With SMD, I want people that did just like you, right? Like you didn't know you were doing the right thing, right? You didn't know that, right?
Right.
If I could have reached, if you could have found SMD at that moment, your whole life would have changed.
Oh, you sure would have.
You would have been like, I'm doing this shit already? You mean millions of people around me are not? Oh man, I'm about to change the game.
Man,
your whole life would have changed. Your whole life would have changed, but you just didn't know. Those are the young people I'm hoping to reach, because that was me, but I was in debt. I just didn't understand. Even though I was making more and more money, I couldn't figure out why I was in the same position. I was still living check to check, making $160,000 a year. Didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that sounds like me. I was making 50 grand a year. And so like, man, why am I still in debt? Wow, what's going on?
Right.
Why am I not achieving anything?
Right. It doesn't make any, you know, this is funny. And this is my opinion too, right? You know, when you fill out your W-2,
yeah,
you know,
W-2,
you know, they have a box there to say, make me exempt from federal taxes.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
Right, you see that on there. I remember when I was in debt, I used to always say to myself, why would they put if paying taxes is the law, why would they put that box there? That makes absolutely, why would I check that box? I would get in trouble, right?
Right.
So I never checked it. Well, I've had a few clients that have checked that box. Because when you're in debt, you start to think it's because of taxes, right? They start looking at their gross income, and then they say to themselves, oh, I could be so much better off if I actually got all that money. Then they check that box, and then they keep the tax money. Then they start living as if they don't have to pay taxes. And then they let them dig themselves in about 3-4 years, then come knocking at the door and say, hey man, where's that money? And of course you're not going to have it.
Man, you say that. I had a coworker that did that. He did he did like 99 on his forms where he didn't pay anything for like I think it was like 2-3 years. And by the time them people caught up with him, he ended up having to move in with his sister just to pay them back.
Of course.
I was like, what?
Of course. They let them dig themselves nice and deep, because they don't understand the things that they're doing is not making any mathematical sense. They don't know that. Right. But the IRS does, because it's clear. They trust math.
See, I understood it. I would do it, but I would only do it for 6 months. and then change it back. And then by the time the end of the year, I broke even. I knew that. I had sense enough to know that.
You changed what? The box or the
Yeah,
amount of
well,
claims,
not the
amount of people you claimed?
I think was it
The claims.
I think it was the claims. That's what it was.
Because
Yeah, he changed his claims to 99.
Right.
And yeah, I would do that, but I would switch it back within 6 months.
See, I used to hear that, and when I was in debt from people that used to say that kind of stuff, but I never did it because it just didn't make any sense. But now I know only slaves do stuff like that.
Yeah,
slaves did.
Yeah, I stopped doing that.
What they don't understand is that the majority of slaves that do that, they forget that they did it, or they don't bother.
They used to that money coming in, like, oh man, my check is this, looks a certain way, so I'm not gonna change it.
Exactly.
By the time they had to go do them taxes, old Uncle Sam looking for you. Got his hand out.
Because some of them will check the box and won't even file taxes.
Oh,
because when you file, you have to say you did this, and then they'll get all their money right there, right? So the majority of people are not filing their taxes and still checking that box, digging themselves so deep in the hole 3 years later, they know you're not going to have the money to pay them. So now the IRS owns you with interest.
Wow.
And I always wondered with that box, it just didn't make any sense. But and this is my opinion, for people that don't understand, especially unconscious slaves, they're going to check that box. And then they're going to forget about it. And then they're going to be owned. I guarantee you millions of people have done that because they already believe taxes are the reason that's keeping them down, but it's not true. It's themselves.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate.
Unfortunate. It really is.
But we need them.
We need them. It's very important that we have slaves. I want you, and if this is you and you're listening to this, you're important. That's very important that you did that because that's your choice. You did it. So, but it's important. It's important to the system. I promise you that. Just like the majority of people that listen to MG, the mortgage guy. I don't even know how many people he got. How many followers he got? Let me see. I'm curious.
I never even heard of the guy until you brought him up.
I've heard him a couple times. Okay, he has 52,000 followers. 52,000 people follow him.
Man.
Now, the majority of unconscious slaves that go to his channel, the first thing they do is look what? They look straight at the subscriber count, right? They always do that because they think subscriber count must mean something. Ooh, all these people must follow him. He must be something. No. Yeah. That's how many lost people there are.
They look at that as being legitimate.
Yes. They think it's legitimate. It's not. Oh, that's how many lost people there are. Yep, 52,000. Because there's no way in hell I would ever subscribe to his channel. For what? Why? Why would I do that? Would you subscribe to his channel?
Nope.
Exactly. There's no reason to do it for. To hear what? Hear lies? Not lies. Let me say that. Let me make sure I say that right. Here's things that are not mathematically correct. Because I definitely want to call this business a lie. That when you heard me say that, I'm taking that back. Okay, because I don't want you to understand that it's not anything to attack his business. Things that don't make mathematical sense. CNTS. All right, let's make sure that's clear. See how you can still justify the same thing just using math, but you just say it a different way, so they can't have an opinion about it.
Yep,
they can't have an opinion about math. That's what's so lovely about this shit.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, LJ. I was able to find you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, and that means the world to me. That lets me know that I'm most definitely going in the right direction. I'm glad you're able to see this and feel this because you can feel it, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
I want people to understand that, but to ever do that, you must free yourself. There is no other way out of it. You got to free yourself.
Yep. Got to be free in mind before you can be free in the physical world.
Correct. You had to make up in your mind that, oh, I believe the calculator.
Yep.
Right.
I sure did.
You know how hard that is? You know how many people don't even want to know how much debt they're in? They don't even want to know.
I remember when I first talked to you and we went, I told you what my how I bought my car, and or I'm sorry, I keep saying buying. I didn't buy it yet. How I was purchasing the car,
Right.
and I was like speechless. It was like my whole circuitry was going haywire. I couldn't.
You were glitching. I
Yeah.
told you. You got to watch for the glitch. Have you been watching for the glitch in people?
Oh yeah.
You got to watch that glitch. Man, I appreciate that, man. You said your whole thing was scrambling up. What was happening?
Oh gosh. I was like, wait a minute. This don't make mathematically sense.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. So I had to adjust myself, had to breathe a bit and accept it. Like, okay, you're a slave.
Mm.
Okay, now let's try not to be a slave now.
So in other words, you had to call yourself a slave, right?
I had to call myself a slave. I had to call myself.
You had to do it. Now, did you do this in the mirror, or you just said this to yourself?
I just said it to myself.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, once I actually sat down and wrote out all my debt, and I'm like, okay, yes, I am a slave. The number she showed, yes, I am a slave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's all. And I want you to understand something. Accepting that fact at that moment, I want you to understand how huge that is. That's huge.
Oh, because before I ran into you, I ran The Richest Man in Babylon.
Okay.
And once I read that and was listening to your videos, I'm like, okay, yes, I am a slave. I see how a lot of those guys in Richest Man in Babylon became slaves. Mm-hmm. And how they worked themselves out of being slaves. I'm like, okay, it's that mathematically simple.
That's how that's how the economy works. Like, say, for example, now, say like you wanted to move to Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
Canada's economic system is the same as ours. It's based on debt and taxes. So only thing, you would just go over there with the same knowledge. It wouldn't matter. You just go, okay, you guys use different color money. Oh, okay. All right, whatever. It would be exactly the same. You would just have to find somebody who's debt-free that understands their tax. Like if I moved to Canada, I would find somebody that knows their tax system, who's debt-free, an accountant who's debt-free that understands Connect. That's all. They understand the rules. They're universal.
Yep. Heck, I guess you could even move to China. Work the same way.
I don't know how their system is. So I don't know.
But they got a capital, even though it's not.
I thought it was communist. I thought they were communists.
They're communists, but they run under a capitalist system.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, if it's the same if it's based on the same system here, it's all the same. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's like when you hear somebody say, "Oh man, you go over here and they don't have to pay taxes for this." Well, they're getting it from someplace else. Then, if they're not getting it there, they're doing it somewhere else. People just, oh, they don't have to pay land taxes. No, but they're paying taxes somewhere else. I promise you that.
Oh, taxes is universal. You can always pay that till you die.
That's the only way it could work. If they put it this way, if they didn't force slaves to play, they wouldn't play. If they said all taxes, you can all pay your taxes voluntarily. You think any of them would pay their taxes? They wouldn't pay.
Nope.
So they have to play. That's why you can go to prison for tax evasion, because it's the backbone of the whole system.
In other words, it's a contract that everybody has to sign.
Yeah, as soon as you're born, as soon as you're born, they hand you a participation number. Here you go. This is your number in order for you to play here. Don't fuck with it. Don't try to copy it, or else you're going to go to prison. Don't fuck with that number, which is your social security number. Don't mess with that number. That's your participation number if you want to play here.
And you don't own that participation number.
Huh?
And you don't own that participation number.
You don't own that number. You get to borrow it. As long as you're alive, you get to borrow this number. As soon as you're dead, it goes back into the pile. I understand the rules. When you get out of debt matrix, I clearly understand the rules. I understand. Oh, don't do tax evasion because of that. That's why you can go to prison for that. Oh, got it. Okay, I won't be doing none of that.
Yep.
Don't be copying our money because you can go to prison. Oh, okay. Well, I won't be copying them worthless pieces of paper. You already told me how much they cost. 14 cents to make $100 bill. Why would I risk the time of my life for 14 cents? I won't be doing none of that. 14 cents? No, thank you.
Yeah. how much is that if you got 100,000 and 14 cents? Man, do the math
All
on
you
that.
gotta do is divide 0.14. No, divide the money up by 0.24, 0.14, and should tell if it was all hundreds. And it'll tell you the actual cost. So if somebody was holding $100,000 in their mind, they believe they're holding $100,000. But then you go to the government website and say, "Oh, we only made these for 14 cents," and you times that by 14 cents, and it tells you the real amount.
Mm.
Pretty crazy. I mean, think about it. Don't that commands respect?
Yeah. They have
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Won't be breaking none of those laws. All right, cool. All right.
That's insane.
Because you think about it, it's no reason to be breaking the financial laws. Slaves don't even know they're slaves. Why are you breaking the laws if slaves don't? They're giving away money. You gonna steal it? Mm-mm. From the designers. You think you're gonna steal money from who designed the system? No, you're not. No, you're not. You think you're just think about it. You think you will just be born, even though this system has been in place for hundreds of years, right? You think you're just going to be born and not play by the rules? You're not. You're not. So stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All these scams and it's like, is it really worth it?
Well, we even need scammers, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Because they get to sell you more stuff to protect you from them. So when they check it out. When they catch financial scammers, they own them now because they're either felons now or whatever. Right now they're owned. Now they're in a whole nother system. You're owned for life. Now you're stamped. You're stamped for stealing worthless pieces of paper. See what I'm saying? So they're making money now. They make money for the system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's all important because if you think about it, as long as you trust math, you can never get scammed. If you trust your calculator, nobody can scam you. It's that simple.
Yeah. Wow.
Pretty powerful stuff, huh? And think, man, millions of people don't even know that. It got it right, got the app right on their phone, right there. Just pull it up. Wait a minute, that don't make sense. Why? The calculator just told me that. It doesn't make sense. All you gotta do is believe the calculator.
That's your road to financial freedom. Use your calculator.
Yeah. You're the only one that can make yourself free. Look at you. You're chomping the bit. You got 6 more months to go. You can't even. They don't even know why you're excited. They have no idea why you're excited.
Can't wait.
They don't even know why you're excited.
Because I go from red to black, and it keeps going forward.
Correct.
And I'll never do the things that put me where I was in the first place.
Exactly. They're gonna say, "Oh, you said like you announced it. You're like, I'm free." They're gonna say, slaves usually ask this. Well, if you're so free, how much money you got? You're gonna say 0, and they're gonna blow their fucking brains out. They're gonna be like, "How you gonna be free with $0?" Never mind, slave. I ain't telling you.
I'll just say, just go to Save As Mighty Debt. You'll figure it out.
Exactly. That's what you point them in. These shirts are going to, believe it or not, these shirts are going to, you watch, they're going to be worldwide. You watch.
Well, I know they might have to censor you because you might break the system.
No. You know what? Because I've heard that before, but you got to, and I know this is hard to believe. Okay. This is hard to believe. The things that I'm saying right now, they can't hear me.
Yeah, you're speaking a foreign language too.
They don't know what I'm talking about. When you hear people like, "Oh, LJ is gonna," the people are gonna censor him. No, they're not, because they know millions of people have no idea what I'm talking about. They don't know. And I don't want it to change. I don't want the system to change. I don't want it to change. I'm just letting the world know that I'm on the correct side of it. That's all I'm sharing with. I'm on the right side of it.
I was looking at chat. Hyphy said something about Experian having a breach and then creating a premium service.
Exactly.
If you're debt free, it don't matter.
Exactly. Slaves don't. So like when you hear that, because that seems to happen all the time, the breach comes in and it steals people's data. They always say that, right? How come the hackers never go in there and steal money or change people's credit scores or erase credit report data? How come they don't never do that?
You know what I find when that happens? You just get more stuff advertised to you.
Of course, they just like what he said right here. This is how they sell people. There's a breach. Slaves don't know. You don't have. Hey, you getting so many breaches. Check it out, Experian. I'm not going to even use you anymore. How about that? You keep having these breaches because they sure don't seem to be breaching that money. That the money I owe you, they never breach that.
Oh no, that never goes away.
Never.
I've never heard anybody. Oh, Experian's been breached. Oh, your credit scores slate is cleaned down.
Have you ever heard of a hacker coming in there, changing data, changing credit scores? That has never happened because you know why? If they catch that motherfucker, they're gonna bury him.
Oh yeah. I've never heard everybody have a 700 score for a data breach.
You know what? They would catch that person and say, "Guess what? What? You work for us now." Or what? Or you're going to prison for the rest of your life. Which one you want? I guess I work for you. You better believe that. You can't mess with that. You can't mess with social security numbers, counterfeiting money, changing people how much they owe debt. You say like a person tries to hack the student loan database, you will disappear. $1.7 trillion, you will disappear. And when I say disappear, I'm not saying somebody's going to kill you or something. I'm just saying your whole life is going to be different. You're going to be moved somewhere else, and you're going to be working for some unknown company for the rest of your fucking life. You're on mute, Greek. Did I mute you? No, you mute yourself. Okay. If you're speaking Greek, you're on mute. It's crazy. It's just, hey, listen, it's just how it works. Okay. I don't want to change it. I just want to help a few people to get on the right side of it. That's it. Nothing more than that. Doesn't matter. They can't hear. I know you guys think it's crazy that I'm saying they can't hear me, but they can't hear me. They can't hear me. You go try to tell a person that's been paying on their house for 20 years, try to go tell them and refinanced it about 2 or 3 times. Go try to tell them that they're not a homeowner. They would look at you like you're crazy. What do you mean I'm not a homeowner? What are you talking about?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are things those are things that will never be hacked. And if they are, we'll never hear about it.
Oh no. Anything that affects finances, they're going to try to keep those out of the news.
Correct. And it's okay. I mean, I don't really care what they do. It doesn't matter what they do to me. Oh, excuse me. Because the credit report agencies are privately owned businesses.
Yep. They're not federal.
Slaves don't even know that. They don't even know that. They're privately owned businesses.
Just like the Federal Reserve.
Sure is. You got to respect that. You got to respect it. Wow. It's like, whoa. Credit is just part of life for the majority of slaves.
Yeah, because I see once getting out of debt, you really don't need credit.
No, you don't need it. It's a tool.
Only useful thing I see with credit is if you're going into business. That's the only thing I see that's
agreed. Because there's tax advantages for doing it at that particular time. Yes. Mm-hmm.
But consumer wise, oh man, you might as well just go ahead and dig your grave and cut your throat.
Sure do. Might as well. That's it. But they don't know that. They think they don't know having a high credit score means you have to stay in debt. That's the credit reporting. The credit score is nothing more than a reward, some kind of reward they give to people just for staying in debt. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So I look at it like this: the lower your credit score, the closer you are to freedom. The higher your credit score, the more slavery you'll be in.
That is credit. See, that's enough. See how you said that? Go try to tell one of your friends what you just told me. He won't even understand a word you're saying. The lower your credit score, the closer you are to freedom. I might put that shit on the shirt. The lower your credit score, the closer you are to freedom. They'll just look bewildered. They'll be like, what?
Hey,
What's up, Top Shelf? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
No,
done.
no, I was saying, what's up, the top shelf?
Oh, what's up, Top Shelf? Go ahead, man. You got it.
LJ, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? I've been seeing you over there on Instagram.
Yes, sir, man. I'm finally financially free, man. Hey, turn that down, son. I am officially done.
Man, congratulations.
Congratulations.
You said it took you 10 years. It took me 11 years.
See? But it's done. It's done.
Yeah, the way I went about mine is I was kidding myself as well for the longest time. I was doing real estate investing and whatnot, and I had like a lump sum of money from my last I did a fix and flip, and I had it in my account, and I'm just kidding myself the whole thing. Every episode I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm like, oh no, I'm just fooling myself. This money does not belong. It didn't belong to me. It did not belong to me. And I kept seeing, like, on Instagram, you kept doing you got a mortgage minus or you got money minus your student loan debt. Then you say it's not yours, and then you just kept drilling. Every day I'm watching this, and I'm like, I'm secretly listening to you in the wings. I always salute you when I come in. When I come in the chat, I salute you every time. But something came upon me. It was like 4 a.m. in the morning, right? And I'm sitting here listening to one of your playbacks. So
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So I logged into my my student loan account. I looked at it. I grabbed my debit card, and it hurt me so bad watching all that money just go away. Now, I mean, my car's paid off, my house is paid off, and I'm officially debt free, man.
Your house is paid off too?
Yeah, my house is paid off. Yep.
Oh man, you wow.
And how old are you?
I'm 33.
Oh man, I'm hating. Okay,
I'm hating.
Okay, I'm about to kick him off, man. I'm about to fuck that, man.
Man.
Congratulations, 33. Oh man,
congratulations. 33.
God.
I wish I was in that position. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Hey, the weakness always pulls at you, because like I instantly, as soon as I paid it off, the next day I'm like, I can give me a nice cut to the debt matrix. It's just like it's an everyday fight. Reprogramming your mind.
It'll get easier. It'll get easier. I want you to recognize, man, and it doesn't sound like it really hit you yet, but I want you to recognize that paying off your house has catapulted you above millions of people, man. Every time you hear the total mortgage loan debt and you see how many millions of people are in there, understand that you're financially ahead of them.
Yeah. Hey, I won't even take credit for my
you can literally now actually flip some houses now.
Yeah.
without having to worry about it.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Yeah, I've been trying to, I got all the time in the world now, but I've been debating on my next move. I've been like going around telling people, hey, I paid off my student loans. I'm thinking I'm supposed to get like some kind of other like reaction, and it's like, okay. I'm like, yeah. It's only a certain amount of people that will truly like understand and appreciate that. Everybody is not going to look at that.
LJ, like, you should create a coin, a commemorative coin for that, man, for people to get out of debt.
You know what? You're right. That's a good. I like that. I'm gonna do that too. Hey, tell me this. Tell me this, Top Shelf. What were their facial expressions for the people? How many? Okay, first of all, how many people did you tell, and what was the facial expression of each?
All right, so like the first thing I did, I went to work, and that was probably pretty bad. I went to work and like I was excited because I did it, over the weekend. So I went back to work. I told one of my coworkers, and then really honestly what happened is I'm not saying names, but she eventually started saying like how buried in debt she was, and that made me really appreciate it even more. But then everybody else I told, they didn't flinch. They just like, okay, congratulations. But then you know, just listening to my one coworker, her story, and she's like credit cards and all that stuff, and just couldn't get out if you wanted to. And I'm like, man, I guess I complain sometimes about certain stuff, but you know, I didn't realize I guess how decent I had it. You know, you always want more or want, you know, better, but I actually feel like a lot of stress literally gone just from doing that, man. I honestly that
I have a question, Top Chef. When you got close to getting out of debt, did people look at you kind of strange?
I'm gonna be honest with you. So like, you know, my house has been paid off. I had that paid off for a significant amount of time, and you know, what I did when I got that lump sum of money from selling the house a few months back, it just sat in my account. I didn't really know what to do with it. Honestly, I just that was 30. What I tell you, LJ, 37, roughly $37,000.
Yeah, 36, 37. Yeah.
It still has not really hit me, I guess, because
Right.
I just dropped that all at once. It wasn't like a continuous. Yeah, I paid for 10 years, but my principal went up actually.
Right.
Ironically, or not the
Right.
principal, the total amount went up. So I started at 34,000, and I was paying like what $200 a month. I graduated 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, honestly, a few people it seems like you come off as arrogant sometimes when you talk. I really don't talk about finances with a lot of people. I got into it with my best friend from talking about finances, and I was
Yeah.
telling I think I watched you for like a couple of your episodes, and then I
Mhm.
started spouting off what you were saying, like if you got a mortgage, you don't own a house and this and that. And we really got into a heated debate, and then that let me know like you can't really approach people with this stuff. So like,
You can't.
You know what that
um,
reminds me of when Rich Dad Poor Dad came out and he was saying that your house is a liability and people argued him up and down about that. So I could definitely see why people would get in an argument about that. They're like, man, I just bought a house. That's my biggest asset. Like, no, you're actually paying a mortgage. It's not an asset.
right? Yeah,
That's
a lot of
you know,
people. A lot
top
of
shelf. This
people.
is top shelf. Real quick, you know
Yep.
why? You know, you said just before you push that button to transfer the money to pay off the you felt this feeling, right? They're like, oh my God, I'm about to do this, right?
Yeah.
What you didn't realize, the reason why you felt like that is because you thought the money was really in your account.
Yeah. See, that's the stuff you say that like got.
See, and plus,
That's
if
the
you put
stuff
it,
you.
if you put those numbers, check this out. This will blow your mind even more too. Say like you, and I'm gonna just use random numbers. Say like you had 100,000 in your account, and your student loans were 50,000, right?
Right.
100,000 minus 50,000 is what?
50,000.
Right. Now, say like you didn't when you took the money and paid off the student loan, does the answer change on the calculator?
You say
Yeah,
when
think
I
about it.
took the money and paid on the student loans, does the answer change?
Okay, so say like I'm gonna say it one more time. You have 100,000 in the bank, and your student
All right.
loans are 50,000. Okay,
Yep.
100,000 minus
Uh huh.
50,000 equals 50,000. Right?
Right.
When you
Yes,
took the
sir.
money and paid off the student loans, does the calculator answer change?
Oh no, it didn't change.
It didn't change. That tells you the money wasn't even there in your account. You thought it was, but it wasn't.
It what? Yeah, playing with other people's money. Just get them folks their money, man. Hey, anybody
It's their
listening,
money. It
just
wasn't
pay
yours.
it. It
It
was
was
not my
already
money.
gone.
No.
It was already gone. You were just feeling what you had already spent. That's all.
It felt good looking at it. It's how you fool yourself.
But think about it. See
That
how
it
you're
is.
saying it? It still feels good looking at it. What? Looking at somebody else's money? Okay. Well, whatever, top shelf. Whatever. If
Right.
you like looking at other
No,
people's
yeah,
money, that's on you.
you're 100% right. Now, now it's funny when it's like when you actually basically pay your debt off, and now you kind of have what you have. Then you kind of reassess. Okay, now I'm changing some things around. Now you know instead of these when I go out, I'm spending more because I see this large number, so it's really not mine, but I'm
Right.
doing things that I wouldn't normally do if I saw that account, but it really is. So now I just come from, and
Let me
you
tell you
kind
what's
of
going to
adjust
happen to you now.
accordingly.
Since you're fresh, let me tell you what's going to happen. Whatever in your life that you love that you have put off because of debt, it's going to come to the forefront now. And you ain't going to be able to turn it off. So whatever it is that you love to do in your life, you're going to turn that into some money. And things are going to happen into your life that are going to take you to that direction. That's how it works, because you now own yourself. That's step one to becoming rich or wealthy, whatever. You must own yourself first. Now you do. You even own your house. That's a huge step. Huge. You still there? I hope I didn't lose you. Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
Is it disconnected his mic?
No, he's off mute. I don't know if it's just his connection.
Yeah,
Come back in, Top Shelf, if you can hear me.
I'm sure being out of debt, your friends change.
Right. Oh yeah, they do change. Well, I know for me, are you there, Top Shelf? Man.
Still can't hear you.
Let me remove him. Make him come back in. All right. Yeah, like me and my friends, we don't talk about finances because we'll get in arguments.
Yeah, I noticed since I've been on this journey, certain people in my friend circle I don't talk to like that anymore, because I know they basically want to party, drink, smoke. I'm like, that's fine. I mean, I've done it, but it's time to do some other things, and most of them are in debt. So it's like,
yeah, that stuff is just to keep slaves busy.
Yeah,
that's
just
it. Distraction, keep them entertained, keep them doing shit, as long as they keep working.
Yep.
Because once, it's so crazy. Once I got out of debt, I didn't realize Saturday and Sunday were not really special days. They're not special. They're just a day. That's it. It's not even, Friday nights are not different than Monday nights. It's the same.
You can smoke and drink on any day.
Any day. Any day. Any day. Whatever day you deem is the weekend day is your day. If I decide Wednesday is my weekend, I just decide it's Wednesday.
Yep. Nothing special from Monday than it is to Sunday.
Sure ain't. 40-hour work week's a program. Sure is.
Just your time on this planet just dissipated. That's it.
That's it. That's it. And you got 6 months, man. I mean, again, congratulations to you, man. You about to be free. Too bad you only be able to tell us. Too bad.
Yep. I like I said, only thing I have that's really major is credit card debt, but I can do administrative process and get rid of that. But, yeah.
Now the plans. I mean, you already have the beginning of it. You have made it up in your mind that you're going to get out of debt. Everything else that follows is going to be created because of it, because you want to get out of debt.
Yep.
So things are going to start happening to you in certain ways because you have a mission in your mind.
That I do.
So things are going to start connecting, and certain things are going to come into your life financially and be like, "Ooh, I can take that money and pay off debt." Sure can. That's it. That's why I'm here. Just like me. Just like me. You were, for some reason, I don't know how you were placed to SMD. I don't know how did you find me, by the way?
O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Okay. All right. So you happen to be on there that night or watch that video, and then it just connects. That's how it works.
Yep. Yeah, and I think a bunch of it, I made, like you said, I made up my mind, and I was reading a bunch of books too. I truly believe in the law of attraction.
Correct.
That does play a factor. All right, there he is, Top Shelf.
Top Shelf, can you hear us now?
Yeah, sorry about that, fellas. I had to get into some Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember where we left off, but go ahead.
Hey, at the end of the day,
we left off at 50 grand.
Hey, LJ is the truth, man. Hey, I don't know where I wouldn't have heard this advice anywhere else. One of a kind, man. You are truly one of a kind. I am blessed to have come across you. I just wanted to thank you personally. As I come from the store with my son, I'm literally gonna pass down some of the things that I basically learned from you. Let's just call it what it is. I had a little bit of some know-how, but again, you know, all these get-rich-quick schemes and all this borrow other people's money, this culture that they got going out here, I really feel like one in a million right now walking around, and my whole mind literally processes everything differently. The same way you said as mating and everything, like you look at people, you don't look at them just based off attraction. You look at them literally like. That's one of the first questions. It sounds kind of rude, but I do ask that question now. Like, hey, do you have student loan debt?
Because you don't want to waste your time. That's because you now understand the more and more you're going to realize time is the most valuable thing on earth. And how old is your kid?
6 years old.
Oh, man. Yeah. Congratulations, man. I mean that. Now you know time is the most valuable thing on earth, and you just don't want to waste it. It's a waste of time. That's what it is.
Yep. And I can do more things now. Like I took him to the gym. It's been so long yesterday. And I'm like, I can do this 7 days a week now and live and literally be stress-free and just focus on things that are more important to me. So,
and tell people this, Top Shelf. Tell people that I don't know if you're single or are you single or married?
I'm single. Oh,
okay,
I'm
so
single.
check this out. I want you to tell people this. As a man, now you're going to think twice, even when you start having sex, right? When not start having sex, but when you have sex, right? You're going to think twice about everything now, right? Tell these people, man, they need to know that as a man.
Oh, yeah. Hey, honestly, I'm one and I'm done. You look at things a lot differently. You have to realize, you know what I'm saying? Not only does that person, if you literally get entangled with someone or, you know, eloped with someone who is buried in debt, you do not want to procreate with with a person buried in debt as well. I mean, all of this stuff literally is a mindset, because if you got two conflicting mindsets about finances, it's going to carry over to the children. So, and yeah, a guy who's out of the matrix can easily get pulled back into the matrix by literally thinking with his other head. Let's just say it like that.
For sure.
So I'm very cognizant of that as well. Everything you say, man, it's legit. It's 100% legit.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And I'm not even, when I say this, I know people think I'm sounding like I'm bragging. Let me ask you this, Top Shelf. Will you ever forget me?
No, man. Hey, I send myself an email so I can always remember the day. And every time pretty much you go live, I basically salute you, and then on IG I also follow his IG because while you scrolling down looking at the world, basically a fake world, let's just say it like that, a fake world of stuff, and you get that one piece of information every once in a while that just implants in your mind, coming down the timeline, snap you back into reality. Follow the IG. The IG is just as important as the live streams. I'm being honest with you. Them little nuggets every day that you yeah.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. And they're for people like you, exactly like you, that I just kept, because it's called repetition. I keep coming. Then one day it clicked. Now you paid off your student loan debt. See what I'm saying? That's how it works.
You were eating at me for months and months. I literally, every time I would send it to people, I send it to my little sister, I send it to this person, that person. You know, some people, it resonated with them, but it takes a while even before a person, okay, now you're a conscious slave, but are you going to take action?
Right.
It takes a while. It's a process. It's a process. Like, even now that I'm out of debt, I have to constantly listen to you. Otherwise, I can get easily entrapped back into it.
Correct.
So I have,
because you're fresh out. You got diapers on now. You're out here. You got diapers on. Okay. Hey, you're like, okay, what do I do now? Okay. He don't realize he's ahead of millions of people with a paid off house. Okay. He's just a baby. Come on, man. I ain't gonna steer you wrong. Come on, man. Come on. I'm gonna give you the advantage. I'm gonna give you a place. SMD is a place where you can come and get the answers that I didn't have when I got out of debt. I couldn't ask nobody because I didn't know anybody that was debt free.
Yeah,
And I didn't
man.
know how to ask the questions that I wanted to ask.
Yes, sir. And then this has been a rough year for me because I got into a really bad car accident. My son got injured. He's good now. And then I lost that car, and then the engine went out on my other car. I was already kind of following some of the stuff like paid off car. I was proud of that. But I knew until I got that student loan debt off of me, it wasn't going to be real. So yeah,
Right.
that was the last step. That was the last step.
Those things that happen to you, like when you kind of wake up and then all of a sudden these financial things come out of nowhere and kind of push you back, those are tests. Okay. Those are tests. The debt matrix is not going to let you out easy.
Oh no.
All right. So if you're on your way getting out of debt and all of a sudden you get in a car accident or some kind of bill comes up, that's just to hold you to say, okay, I don't want to let you go that easy, because some people will get caught and then they will stay there because of those debts. But you stayed strong, obviously, because you're here talking on the mic.
Yeah, and guess what? All of those tests, it was trying to force me into, oh, I'm just tired of all this stuff. Let me just go get me a car note. I went and got me this car runs better than the other. I said, oh yes, life is good. Life is good. Like, hey, if I want to eat a nice meal, I can eat a nice. I don't even have to think about it.
Don't even have to think about it. Tell them that shit. Now I want people to hear you say that, because that's true. If you want a nice meal, you just want to eat. You just go do it. You don't even think about it twice.
You don't think about. If I wanted to take a trip, I can take a trip. I won't even think about it. Literally. Hey, it's funny because I'm salary right now as well, even though I'm doing my things outside. But I got you always talk about the 24 hours. They got the phone. Man, my son has that phone right now playing games on it. I literally, they try to literally fool you with the salary. I literally work Monday through Friday. On the weekend, do not call me. Do not call me. Do not call me. Life is good right now. I honestly, I for 10 years, and nobody, when I got out of college, nobody really. What a blessing it would have been back then to know the stuff now. But I'm honestly glad I know it now, because I got much more wisdom now, and I know after or going through all of this stuff, you appreciate it even more. That's what it is.
That's what the Greek surgeon and I were just talking about. That as soon as you get out, you start reflecting back. Man, had I known this in my 20s, had I known this, that's part of the phase. That's all part of it, because you don't realize 33 is real young. Okay, that's a blessing to wake up in your early 30s. I promise you that. It's a blessing.
In the Kevin Samuels world, that you would be a what do you call it? High value man.
Hey, LJ.
Huh?
At 24, I was riding in the Mercedes Benz, right? I thought I was high value back then. I was making way less money. And then you got the car and all this stuff, and you get the fly clothes and all this, and then when you're going out, you actually count what you got in your pocket. Man, now I'm riding in a paid off vehicle. Okay, I'm older. It's a facade. It's literally a facade. You live in a facade, and everybody else is in a facade. Like, somebody will pull next to me in my vehicle and think that I'm like losing in life, and I'm like, they have no idea.
Listen. This is why they call it the American dream.
People still sleep.
They still sleep.
Hey,
see what I'm saying, Top Shelf? They're not lying to anybody. They're not tricking you. They called it the American dream. In order to dream, you got to be asleep, right? They're not tricking anybody.
Absolutely. Hey, the Greek surgeon. Yeah, I feel truly high value now. I know outside, I don't have to fool anybody or fake or do anything. A simple conversation will let a person know, like, and it's not arrogance, but how can you help others without telling your testimony? So some people will take it as arrogance, and some people will literally get unplugged, as they will say, unplugged. That's the first step of everything. I used to listen to Dave Ramsey as well. Some of the stuff, it just didn't, like the whole, like when you get closer towards it, and all. And no, when I found LJ and he just gave me straight, like it's almost like, dang, man, like
Yeah, 'cause
like
I was telling LJ, I read Dave Ramsey's book. I read it all the way through, and I tried to do some of the things, but I don't know why it didn't stick for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I guess LJ puts it in a simple, everyday man's language. You can like, okay, this makes sense.
And see how you're saying that? See how you're saying everyday man's language? No, I'm not even doing any of that. I'm just using math. 1 + 1 = 2. Period. That's it.
hey, LJ, do not stop using the word slave, because that's the trigger word.
Yes, keep using slave.
That's what pulled me in. Honestly, it was
Yeah,
it was
me
such
too.
it was such a shock, and you say it so many times. It's like you like
Yeah, yes, slave. Yes, slave. Go right ahead, slave.
you have to keep using that word.
Oh, no, I will. That never stopped. I'm just saying I'm not going to put it on the shirt because I think people that wear the shirt going to end up getting in fights. That's all.
I'll wear the shirt proudly.
So I don't want to be sued. I don't want to be sued. I don't want to be sued. LJ shirt
I got to catch myself.
Call people slave. Oh, no.
And sometimes I had to catch myself in public. I be wanting to call people slaves. I'm like, hey, slave. I ain't even say that.
You got to at least put one out like I escaped the debt matrix with like, you got to do that. I'm buying that one.
Oh, you're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed. I mean, if you want to see the statements that are going to go on the shirt, just go and look on the community area of the YouTube. You'll see it because I write them there so you guys can see them. Plus, slaves don't know what those statements mean. I know you guys think it's crazy, but they don't know what those statements mean.
Hey, LJ, somebody put in the chat slave splaining. That should be on the shirt.
Yeah, slave. Well, see, slaves in there, man.
You got to put debt slave splaining. That's it.
You know, I'm gonna rephrase it. I'm gonna say, I was something about slaves. Unconscious slaves can't see negative numbers, right? They don't know negative numbers exist. So I'm gonna reword it as that. If things like if they're explaining something that doesn't make mathematical sense, I'm gonna reword it to where they always ask a question. What's that mean? That's the purpose of the statements.
Yeah, all of your catchphrases are going to spark conversation. So if you wear one of those shirts, hey, what does that mean?
Correct. That's the purpose. Yeah, that's the purpose. And everything you guys show them, always make them pull out the calculator app first, so you can show them on the calculator, so they walk away never forgetting you who told them that.
Yep. Or
they will never forget who you are.
Do you have student debt? If they say yes, okay, pull out your calculator. And then, like you say, what's your balance in your payments?
Mm-hmm.
And that'll explain it all right there.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say this. In the same week that I paid off my student loan debt, I see this headline. All of a sudden, it's saying like, "Oh, Biden paid off all this debt for," and I immediately I was like, "No!" And I'm like, and then I had another rush of feeling like, "Hey, no handout or no helping hand or no bailout or no strings attached. I did this on my own. I borrowed the money. I paid it back. It's another level of feeling of accomplishment when you can say you did it without basically the assistance or hoping and praying that something falls out of the sky.
Correct. And what you've done by paying off your student loans, you got to understand that they're never going to forgive any of the student loan debt. That's never going to happen because student loans are how they create slaves. Because you can't never bankrupt it. You can't. The only way to get out from under it, you have to pay it off. As long as they keep them believing that one day somebody's going to save them, they will stay in debt because they will say to themselves, it's psychological. They'll say, I'm not going to worry about paying it off because so-and-so said they're going to pay them off for me. And then they stay in debt, not realizing that it's never going to happen, ever.
Hey, LJ, I don't know if you ever touched on it, but you got to tap deep into the psyche of the slave. So, like, a lot of the people, they used it for school, but then a lot of us, we borrowed the extra money and we were buying clothes and big screen, flat screen TVs and PlayStations and living life.
I did too. You know why? Because they knew I was going to do that. That's why they give you that extra check. Never once did I say, where'd this extra money come from? Extra from what? I'm borrowing money. There's extra borrowed money. But what I do, I wouldn't spend it because they knew I was going to do that. They knew exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah, a third of my student loan debt was me living high on the hog. Hey, what they say? They say the chickens have come home to roost. Is that how it goes? That the saying? Eventually, you got to pay them back. Eventually, it's going to come back.
Yeah,
All
I
the
always say, just like in the Doctor Strange movie with the black magician said, the bill always come due.
absolutely.
Always.
That's why they make it so easy. That's how they make slaves. Slaves don't. They can. You can take underwater basket weaving. Be a doctor the next week. Change your mind. Go do this. They don't care. You just keep borrowing money because you have to pay back every penny. If you don't, that's it. You're owned.
And then I remember a number of times where you talked about, yeah, you think you have investment properties and this and that, and you borrow on this money, and altogether, honestly, LJ, I paid probably that 37 was that was just the student loan, but I was easily close to $60,000 in debt. This has been like a 2-year to 3-year process. I did different. I didn't tackle the big one first. I tackled the little ones because I felt like if I got them out the way, then
you did it right. That's perfect.
I know how my brain works. So like the less things that I got to even factor in, the get off my plate, and then that was
exactly right. That's like Dave Ramsey's baby step. That's the psychological part. You start small, you could see them disappear, and as they disappear, the money becomes bigger because you don't have something else to pay. So the next amount of money goes and goes and goes and it vanishes. Exactly.
Yeah. If anybody listening, man, listen to what this man knows what he's talking about. He's speaking from experience. I'm telling you, this is you talking to a guy right now that literally used to max out credit cards, do all of these things, everything that you could do wrong. I've done it.
Earn money, burn money, credit card smoking.
Man, everything that you could do wrong, I've done it. I've been late on payments, borrowing money from Peter to pay Paul, and then you used to always say the borrower is slave to the lender, and that is something that they talk about all the other scriptures. They don't like that one. No, when you bring that one up, because you can almost use it against
correct.
Hey, if you believe in this, you can't skip over this one. The borrower is always slave.
That's why I found it. I wanted to find something that they will not go against. If you find it in the Bible and you say, look, it says right there in the Bible, they have to agree. They have to.
LJ,
if they don't, you say, oh, now you don't believe in the Bible? I thought you were a Christian or whatever,
What was that scripture, LJ?
Proverbs 22:7.
Okay.
Yeah, I said I was gonna come. I wasn't gonna come up until I was officially financially free.
Good.
I didn't want to come up and do slave splaining and say, I understand everything you're saying, but I still got this. But I wanted to wait. So this was a long time in the making for me.
You see what you feel? I want you to really understand something. You see what you're feeling right now?
Yes, sir.
Millions of people will never feel it, ever.
Oh yeah.
Very, very few will ever feel it. But I want you to understand, millions of people, you're feeling something millions of people will never feel because they don't know it exists. So as early 30s, I want you to see how powerful you are in the finance game. So anything you choose finance, right? So like you start your business and you hire an accountant or a tax attorney or whoever you're going to do to run your shit. First question you're going to ask, can I see your credit report? That's the first question, because you're not going to hire a tax person that's in debt. You're not.
Yeah, wherever you are, because I know some people that got $100,000 of student loan debt. Wherever you are, you got to start somewhere. You have to start. You got to start somewhere. You have to just keep pushing, keep listening to LJ, because that daily motivation, because it's gonna get rough. You gotta you gotta scale back some things. You gotta scale back a lot of things in life. Literally, you gotta scale back.
How long were you listening to me until you actually started, until the point where you start taking action? How long did you follow me before you said, okay, all right, I'm gonna start paying attention to these memes or whatever, right? How long?
Man, honestly, I'm gonna tell you how I found you, and that somebody else said it on your, I think your last live stream. The collaborations with you and Ramil.
Mm-hmm.
You and Ramil. I found you from Ramil. I used to listen to him a lot, and then you came on, and then the way that you started talking, I'm like, what in the what the what is this man talking about? And I'm like, then I'm listening. Once you get past the,
Slave.
the slave part, you like, all right.
That's what caught my attention. Hey, slave, you don't understand this, slave. I was like, huh? Why is he calling people slaves?
That's funny, man.
You get past the fact that you're a slave. Make no doubt about it. It all starts to make sense. The whole zero and the whole negative numbers, people don't believe in negative numbers exist. All of this stuff is like, I've never heard anybody talking like this. In a world where everybody is literally, I want more. A simplified life is a happy life. Honestly, you can actually, once you get to zero, if you choose to want to do more things, you can do more things. The money is actually real now. So
yes, that's why I told you, man. Whatever your passion is, it's gonna expand now. I just want you to be ready for it, whatever that is. Because I believe everybody has a passion to do something, but they always put it on the back burner because they say, "Oh man, if I did that, I won't make enough money to support my lifestyle." Well, that's true. If you're deep in debt, you're probably well over your lifestyle. So in order for you to pursue whatever it is that you would be loving to do, you can't do because you're so deep in debt. But they don't know that. So I want you to be ready for it, man.
Yeah, and then you and Ramil were talking about, all you got to do is wait for go on Facebook Marketplace, and the slaves are selling their cars. You can get it for a fraction of the cost. And then I literally went on Facebook Marketplace after y'all said that, and I'm like, man, nobody. It's real. It's real.
Because it's obvious. It's totally. And I know people don't really get it. It doesn't matter if people get it, but once you get out of debt, you can see how the economy works, and you see what slaves do. All you gotta do is you don't have to pay attention to the stock market, gold, silver. You have to pay attention to none. Just pay attention. Watch the slaves. That's all. Just watch the slaves.
Yeah.
You got to remember, stock market would not exist if slaves didn't exist. It wouldn't exist.
Yeah, the way that this society is set up, it is crazy. Like once you're unplugged and you literally sit back, you can't get mad. It's legal. I mean, nobody is forcing your hand to sign any of these documents. I've literally
we did it by choice. Think about it, Top Shelf. We got in debt by choice. Why? Because we didn't trust math. That's it.
I've literally sat in the dealership, as you said, all day long, and these people playing games, going back and forth to the back, acting like they're really crunching some numbers or doing some profound, like moving of numbers to get you this. Yeah, they're doing it all right. Slave, you sitting there all day.
I had a friend that was a car dealer, and he would tell me, they don't go back and crunch numbers. All they do is they might play a little bit of catch with the Nerf ball, going to get on the computer, play a little video games. Might be talking to their girlfriend.
I knew they played games back there. I knew they did. Because if you walk in the finance of the car, you're already a slave.
Yep. They like, oh, okay, let me go back here for about 30 minutes and play this video game, talk to my girl, and then come out here and give them this story.
Yeah, you are not. And once I realized that when you go in there.
Yeah, once he told me that, I was like, what? I was like, I thought this was part of the process. No, you go in and say, hey, I want to buy this car. No, let me show you. No, let me run your credit. No, give me the contract so I can drive this car off this lot. If that's not what you want to do, I'll just go to the next person.
Yeah,
I have the cash.
Yeah, I've literally been the person. Best Buy cards, Home Depot cards.
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Like, hey, if you had money and you went in the store, if you have money and you went in the store, if you didn't have money, then you shouldn't be in there, in my
Correct.
personal opinion.
Well, you
But
can't buy anything with no money.
you,
So
yeah, you
you
can't
can't
buy
be. The
anything with no money. There you
math
go.
says you can't be in there.
Right.
I could not be in there.
You just window shopping.
Mm-hmm. Math. If you walk into a store and your bank account says you shouldn't be in here, your bank account will say, "Why are we going in here?"
And you go through the
what are we going in here for? We can't get anything, so why are we here?
and you go through the rationalization hamster wheel. Oh, I can afford this. I can just pay a couple $100 a month back. It is nothing. You
No,
literally.
hey, Top Shelf. This is what it is. No, your bank account says no, you can't go in the store. The bank is there to say yes, you can. Don't listen to your bank account. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
That's what the bank says.
Yeah.
Your bank account is lying.
Yeah, this is like life-changing stuff here that you're doing, man. Honestly, in the world of today, the average person will never get unplugged, and it's crazy. You got family members, you got friends, you got people literally you really want to help, but sometimes you have to just be happy that you're unplugged yourself. The people who actually want to get unplugged, that conversation will be organic. It won't be forced. I've literally found myself trying to force the conversation upon people. Do not do it. Do not do it.
Do not do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. They'll get mad. You will get in the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll break up relationships based on and it's not like you're saying nothing. You're not calling them out their name.
No. They think you're calling them dumb. They think you're calling them dumb.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know what? I was talking to the Greek surgeon about this earlier. This is going to help you, Top Shelf. When you to help you keep your feelings out of it, always just think about it. When you see them doing something that doesn't make any financial sense, you say to yourself, they obviously don't trust math, because if they did, they wouldn't do it. That'll help you detach your feelings from it.
Yeah. I literally, everything you said, Facebook posts with people standing in front of the house or with that big paper key and them saying, "Oh, I just bought a house and this and that." Now, me, I'm not going to go on there and just rain on the parade, so I just thumbs it up and keep it moving,
Right.
But in my mind, I'm like, they don't know what they know not what they do.
Well, you see when they hold the paper key up there like that, because it's paper. They're literally telling the world, look, this person couldn't buy this house. Look, the key is paper. See, look. And they're holding the paper key. You're like, why are you holding that paper key? Oh, because they think that's the key. They think that's a real key. Yeah, they think that's a key.
Yeah, I saw a post where someone said, "Hey, with a tier 1 discount and this and that, I got me a new car," and they got literally like over 300 likes, and I'm like, no.
But if you want to remain free, you have to say yes. Thumbs up. Hey, you got it. Congratulations. Hey, thumbs up. There you go.
Yeah.
If you want to be free, we have to have slaves. The majority must be slaves. They have to be.
This is truly it's a superpower. Like, this is real life superpower stuff, man.
It is. I was telling the Greek surgeon, you see how we're talking? The majority have no idea what we're talking about. Wait till that sinks in you guys' brains. They literally don't. They can't hear me talking. They have no idea what I'm saying. Nothing. Why? Because they don't know negative numbers exist. They have no idea they exist.
Yeah, I was talking to a female, and once I found you, my conversation started to, you want to help people that's around you, and it literally was like a fight every time. I'm like, I'm trying to help you. What? And once I saw it was like there was no unplugging. I had to detach.
Exactly. You know what you're doing? We call that pulling down your mask in public. You're pulling down your mask and you show your big alien eyes. They're like, what the fuck? Hey, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, nothing. Oh, congratulations on your house. Oh, I like that car. Congratulations. Oh, you got a great deal. 6.75% for 84 months. Congratulations. Don't be pulling down your mask in public. You're going to lose all your friends.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. The person kept complaining to me about how many bills they had, but they were taking like 6-7 trips a year, and so obviously I'm going to make mention, hey, you know, this money that you spend on these trips, if you basically apply it towards the stuff that you're complaining about, life would be a lot easier. And one ear, not the other one.
Of course, you pull down your mask. What you doing, man? You're going to learn, Top Shelf. You're going to learn. Don't pull your mask down in public.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I created this channel. I don't wear a mask on this channel. You come here, you know I'm an alien, period. But when I go out in public, I don't be saying, hey, you know you're not a homeowner if you got a mortgage. I don't be saying none of that. I say congratulations.
Yeah, you had some epic battles on Ramil's channel of people trying to literally debunk, and I'm like, I'm listening to the arguments, and I'm listening to you. All you had to do was keep repeating what you were saying, because it don't get much simpler than that. But it's like, well, what if this scenario, and what if this scenario, and millions of people, and it's all, and I'm like, man,
it's a superpower.
Breathe, take a step back, listen to what he's saying. Take slave, the word slave, and put it over here, because it's triggering. Because everybody wants to justify their lot in life or where they are.
Yes.
The way that all of us essentially got unplugged is to take our feelings out of it. Because on the day-to-day, you don't like how you feel. Okay, you don't like feeling like you have this title. You said it the other day, the title engineer or this or that, but you still feel like the average person, like in a hamster wheel, where you take away your feelings from the actual talking points and digest them. You got to digest them small. You can't. It's a big pill to swallow. You got it. It's a big pill to swallow.
It's huge. It's a huge red pill. You better cut it up in pieces.
Top Shelf, I was telling LJ earlier when I first got online with LJ, and I was telling him about my car note, and when he told me, yeah, you're a slave, my brain was scrambled. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wait, man, I actually am a slave. So I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, as I see here, my son's got this Spider-Man costume on. He doesn't know he's looking at a real life superhero right in front of him, man. I got the superpowers now. I got him, man. Yeah, I appreciate everything you've done, LJ, man. Words cannot explain what you've done to me, or done for me, rather. I just wanted to publicly and formally come on and thank you. Yeah, man, you are truly an amazing brother. I heard you not too long ago on the phone with your little brother, and the fact that you were able to even impact a family member, even if you can impact one person, it's enough for you to get out of the debt matrix. But if you were able to impact even one additional person, the way that LJ is reaching all of us, y'all, man, hey, man, you have no idea. You have no idea the impact that you're having on somebody. You don't realize it, like LJ. You probably don't. It sounds like you do, but I don't know if you really realize the impact that you've had on probably a number of people, whether they come up and they let you know, or if they are in the wings, as you say.
Top Shelf, I don't think LJ really realized how many millionaires in the making that he's creating.
Yeah, I don't know if you do, man, but
no, I do. You know what? It took me a long time to recognize my gift, right? And it is a gift, and it is a superpower. Just like, I mean, it's nice to hear you guys say it, because you guys recognize it is a superpower. And I feel blessed that you guys are younger, you guys are getting it. And especially Top Shelf, you got a young son. Now, think about it. If you didn't pass this knowledge to your son, this knowledge would die with you. If you didn't share anybody else in your family, the knowledge he's young enough to say, you're young enough to put this in his head to where he won't even know what your life was like as a slave. He won't even know because it won't exist for him. It's crazy. That's how it's going to pass.
Yeah, I literally try to. He doesn't explain. He doesn't understand a lot of it now. But I'm going to keep saying it to him. I'm going to keep saying it. One day it's just going to click. Once he's of age, and he's literally in this world. Hopefully, a fraction even of some of this stuff that you are dropping down, my brother. Literally.
This is what I was just, Andre and I was just talking about this, Top Shelf. This is what you should do. Play Monopoly with your son,
okay,
but only play according to the rules on the box. Okay? And play Monopoly debt-free. Play Monopoly debt-free. That will teach him how to do it, how to work it in the world. That will teach him.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, ask any of your friends, say, hey man, have you ever read the rules on the Monopoly box? All of them will say no.
Yeah, I don't think I've read myself.
Me neither. There's no money. There's no money that goes in the center of the board or under free parking. Where's that happen in real life? Does that happen when they collect taxes and fines? Do they put it somewhere where people land on something and get all the money for free? No, that doesn't exist. Neither on the box.
I have yet to done that in real life yet.
Yeah. That's all you got to do. Teach your son that. Teach your son that.
I haven't moved into a place and somebody gave me a $500.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And then take you and your son play with some of your friends that are in debt. That's going to teach him that's going to jump him so far ahead financially because they play with slaves, and then he'll know how to work it in the real world.
I will do that. Hey, I just want to touch on one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Y'all dissected that Bam and Kevo nonsense. Hey, and then LJ kept saying, and then look, he flashed his jewelry and his belt and his car, and then he just said something that just made no mathematical sense whatsoever. No. And then people will literally get sucked into that, the shiny things that he's showing, and then yeah, man, but it's legal what he's doing.
It's legal. Hey, don't knock it. Don't knock his hustle. He's playing. He got the costume on. He got the jewelry. He's playing the role. Nothing he's doing is illegal. It just makes no mathematical sense at all. None. Zero.
None.
If you believe it, that's your problem.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. If you even have a small portion of common sense, you would just be like, man, none of this stuff this dude is saying. But if you don't know anything about anything, he throws out this and throws out that, but he's not making it connect. Yeah, y'all dissected that stuff to a T. It was just
what he's doing psychologically. This is what he's playing to. When he says, don't worry about your student loans, the slaves don't know he's catering to the people that have already given up on ever paying off their student loans, right? Those are the people attracted to him the most. Don't pay your student loans. Oh, shit. Okay, cool. There's another way. There's no other way. But if you already believe you're never paying off your student loans, of course you're going to believe there's another way when there is no other way.
Yeah, I'm going to throw another name out there. I don't want it to be a bashing session. I know that you don't do this with your platform.
No, I don't bash. I don't bash. I just point out things that don't make mathematical sense.
It's all math here.
Initially, I think his talking points have changed, but Grant Cardone, man, I'm like, none of the stuff he's saying makes any mathematical sense whatsoever.
Okay. Okay. With him, though, this is the difference with him. Okay. He's talking from a business perspective.
Right.
Okay. It's very different. He's not talking to slaves. When he says, because I remember I saw something that says, hey, Grant Cardone rents. He says buying a house is stupid. Well, they don't really hear what he's saying. Nobody knows to ask the question and say, hey, Grant, who are you renting from? Grant will say, oh, shit. Oh, is that company yours, Grant? He'll say, yes, that's my company. Oh, so you're renting from yourself. Slaves don't know that.
Okay, I got you.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
When you get out of the debt matrix, you will see why he's doing that. Oh yeah, don't buy a house, rent. He's not telling you the whole story. That's your problem if you don't get it.
That a top shelf. I was talking to LJ about the rich dad programs. It's the same thing with that. He's not talking to the slaves. He's talking to people that actually has money and know how to save it.
Yeah. Go back and listen to Robert Kiyosaki now that you're free. Go back and listen to all his stuff. Then you'll know who he's talking to.
Exactly.
You'll know who he's talking to. You think he's talking to somebody making car payments? Robert Kiyosaki is not paying. He's not talking to people that finance phones. He's not talking to those people.
It took me 15 years to figure that out, but yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
The funny part is, man, honestly, I was just in I guess kind of a contract with the phone. Your conversation with your brother and him talking about switching phones, I think you said to like Boost or one of those.
He went to Cricket. He went from Sprint to Cricket.
Okay. So I literally financed the phone that I'm on. I paid it off. That was one of my steps.
Okay.
I paid it off only because of listening to you. And then the final step, when I heard the conversation with you and your brother, I literally said, this phone is going to ring the same whether I'm paying this $100 note or if I market or get it down to $50.
Right.
The service is actually the same, if not better.
It is the same.
And it's like, we are all fooling ourselves. Like, who would you impress by saying I'm paying $100 versus I'm paying $50? Exactly. It makes no mathematical sense.
People don't know AT&T owns Cricket. Why do you think AT&T? There's a reason why AT&T doesn't remove the name Cricket. They want people to think it's some subprime service or something because they don't want everybody to. Whoa, wait a minute, AT&T, you're charging me $200 over here, but you're only charging me $30 there. Yeah, they don't want everybody to know that. So that's why they leave the names. That's why they leave the front.
I'm about to leave my carrier this week. Then I'm about to leave them now. Go to Cricket.
You know how much I pay? I pay $100 a year.
Wow.
On AT&T.
Wow.
$100 a year.
I went to the equivalent for T-Mobile. I think that T-Mobile also has an equivalent. I went to them. But yeah, that was a game changer.
T-Mobile owns a company called Mint Mobile. Go check out mintmobile.com and then you'll probably change your mind. Okay. Same service, but you buy it by the year, you're going to be way cheaper. I don't know how much you pay now, but it'll be the same thing, much cheaper.
I got it from $100 to $45 right now, and they only charge me $5 to move from one company to the next.
I don't know why they're charging you to. I don't know why they charge. I would be like, you're going to charge me to move me? Hell no. No, thank you. I'll do it myself. You ain't charging me to move. Go to mintmobile.com. Go check them out.
Mint Mobile.
Look up the annual plans. Type in Google Mint Mobile. It'll come up with the website or whatever, right? And then go check out the annual plans. T-Mobile owns them. That's what they run on. I don't know if they own them. I'm saying they use T-Mobile towers. Let me rephrase that. They don't. I don't know if T-Mobile owns Mint, but I'm saying Mint Mobile use T-Mobile towers.
All right, and then for my next magic trick, I'm going to do what you said, and instead of paying monthly on insurances and all that crap, I'm going to pay annually. Why not? Save your savings.
And increase your deductible to the max.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if they say, what's your highest deductible? Whatever, it's $1,000, $1,500. You say, that's what I want. Why? Because you will always have the money in your bank account. So you don't need to be paying high premiums.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Listeners, everybody at the sound of our voices, LJ is the truth, man. LJ is the truth. What helped me, LJ, is everything you were saying, and I put it into an Excel sheet. And every multiple times out of the month, I now know where my money is going. That was a game changer for me as well. Yep.
Yeah. With less, when you pay more stuff annually, this is another psychological part. if the more you stuff that you pay annually, that's the less stuff that's off your mind monthly. You're breaking the monthly mindset, because even the month-to-month mindset is a program. So you're breaking that. Your mind's going to be so much freer when you don't have to think about things, but yet once a year.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got this all figured out, man.
You'll have it. You just got diapers on. That's all. You'll figure it out.
LJ is the Michael Jordan of personal finance, and Dave Ramsey is the Larry Bird.
You know what? You know what's so funny? Because even when I took, and now I owe everything to Dave Ramsey, because if I didn't find him, I don't know if I would have got out, right? But when he said, when you get down, you pay off all your debt, you get down to your mortgage, he said, start putting away 15% away for retirement. But according to the laws of mathematics, you can't put away 15% of anything if you have a mortgage. Nothing. So that's not mathematically true.
Right.
Oh, he used it as a selling point, so you could buy the insurances and his financial planners and stuff like that. Which is brilliant. I mean, I give him that.
Hey, it's smart. You're right.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I give him that.
I get it.
He's giving you like probably 80% of it, but then 20% he's keeping it in his own pocket.
Correct. Now, when you see stuff like that in YouTube Top Shelf, when you guys create your own business, that's how you got to think, because it sells. You have to make a living. You have to make money. That's how it sells. That's how you sell to slaves.
Got it.
It's just business. It's business. Like, do this. Next time you're watching TV, put the commercials on mute, and then you'll see how they sell to slaves. Always watch them on mute. Always watch TV commercials on mute, and then try to figure out what they're trying to sell without hearing music and seeing people. I mean, you'll see people, but without hearing what they're saying, figure out what they're selling to you, and then you watch. Most commercials look like they're made for like grade school children, if you ever paid attention to them.
Most of them are dumbed down.
Yeah, with purple cows and talking animals and stuff like that. They're like kid stuff, right? But that's how they sell.
Got it. I just know I haven't felt like this since I was literally probably 17 or 18 years old. And you're like, man, it seemed like I used to have so much money. And yeah, you weren't literally drowning in all sorts of whether it's $100 here or $200 here or $300 or $500, all of these different debt entrapments. That's why you don't feel that. I'm on the other side, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Trust me. If you want to
think about this, is what I think about too. I think about, when you're 18 and you're supposed to be an adult and you get out on your own. If somebody would have had shown me this at 18, because you're literally lost at 18, 19. You don't know what to do. You don't know what you're going to become. I'm supposed to go to college. That's what the TV says. That's what my parents say. And you don't even know what you're going to go to college for. If you could just catch an 18-year-old and say, hey, by the way, do whatever you want to do, but just don't go in debt doing it. That's it. Don't finance anything. I don't care what your parents are doing. If you go get a student loan, you go to college for 4 years, you give yourself 4 years maximum to pay the student loan off, period.
Yep.
It would change their lives.
I remember my first encounter with debt. I went to like the mall with one of my friends, and I didn't really have much of no money. And then he whips out, like, we have up here, it was called Macy's. I think maybe down south or somewhere else they got like.
We have one in Seattle, Macy's. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. He had a Macy's credit line, so he had a card, and then he was able to get some clothes, but he was explaining to me how it works. And he was like, yeah, I only got to pay this amount back every month. And then I was like, I was blown away by it. And that sent me on, that was my first, and sent me on the spiral of,
Why? Because you were trained by a slave, but you didn't know that person was a slave. That's why. You're brand new. You don't know slaves are giving you information. You just say, oh, that's how it works. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, my mom got me like that. She had one credit card, put me on as a, what do you call that?
Authorized buyers.
Authorized user, whatever.
User.
And I ended up driving up like $500 or $600 in debt not knowing I should have been paying it off. But I was thinking she was gonna pay it off because I thought but
Right.
hey, I learned the hard way. So
Yeah, that's
that
how
was
it
my
is,
first,
man.
that was my first credit lesson.
That's how it is. But again, to help you guys, it must be this way. The economy would not exist if they didn't do that. It has to be that way.
Yeah. Hey, LJ, I literally have had apartments, and then once you leave, and then they might send you like a small bill for something, and then you young, you don't think nothing about it, and then when you get older, you want to try to get something else on credit, which that's the
Right.
conversation within itself. But all of these things, hospital bills, oh, just bill me, and
Yes.
you don't pay it, whether it's $50, it will be on that credit report. You
Sure
have to
will.
pay those folks back. Yeah, you can. I've I guess heard that you can. A lot of this stuff you can roll into the bankruptcy and all that. I
A
look
lot
at
of it, yeah.
Yeah, but why do that? It's $50. Just pay it. Just pay
Right.
it.
Bankruptcy is a tool. I mean, it's a very important. Like if you get caught up, unforeseen accident, you ain't got no insurance, you got $200,000 in hospital debt on top of your regular debt. Bankruptcy Chapter 7 is a tool. That's the kind of stuff that tool is used for. But if you owe the bank $2,000, you don't use that valuable tool on $2,000. You go work and pay it off.
Yeah, but the thing is, the things that I was like, just bill me and just forget about them. These are things that I could pay. Like I didn't have I didn't have no business like $50 here or this or that.
Right.
Nobody taught me this stuff though. I literally didn't know what the impact would be.
Right.
All of this stuff, I went through it kind of the hard way.
Well, think about it. You say you're 33. Imagine this. Out of your 33 years of life, nobody told you until now. Ain't that crazy? Think about it. Nobody in your life told you. Everybody around you. I'm sure your mom, dad, they love you. They love you. Hey, we love our son. But they didn't share this information with you because why? They didn't know it.
Yeah. My dad always, to this day, he still tried to encourage me to go get a car note. He wanted me to get a Corvette and this and that and all of this stuff. And I'm like, no.
He don't know what he's saying. He loves you, but he don't know what he's telling you.
Yeah.
See, that's crazy. Because it has nothing to do with that. It's a program.
It's definitely a program.
Mm-hmm. You got to respect the system. You got to respect it, man. It's respect. To do this took generations to program people like that. It demands respect.
Well, I'm going to stay out of debt's way. I don't know debt, and it don't know me. I think your channel used to be "Debt ain't my daddy." Debt is not my daddy.
No, it was, but I had to change. I wanted to change the name because "Debt ain't my daddy" was. I don't want to have things that give slaves opinions. So savings minus debt, you can't have an opinion about it. It just is.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop off, fellas, but LJ, I just wanted to come on, and I told you I was coming.
I appreciate it, man. I know. I knew you were serious. I can always tell the serious people when I'm communicating with them on IG. I can tell the ones that, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I'm trying. Okay. When you come back and start saying the things you were saying, I was like, okay, he's on it. He ain't messing around. He can hear me
loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Happy Father's Day, fellas, and
happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you.
All right.
Yep.
All right, Geek Sherman, surgeon. I'm about to get off here, man. I didn't realize we're on 3 hours, almost 3 hours, 20 minutes, man.
All right. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Thank you for jumping on.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Oh, son of Israel. What's going on, man? All right, I'm going to give you a chance. I was about to get off, but go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Oh, perfect. First of all, I just wanted to thank you, AOJ, because, man, I mean, I'm not feeling it yet because it's not there yet. I'm so close. But remember we were talking about my house before?
Yeah.
So it's on the market. It's been on one day. It got on there Friday. Saturday, I already got an offer.
Wow.
And today I just got through for showing. I have to see if I'm going to get an offer from that right yet.
You will.
But
You will.
bottom line, I am going, after that place is done, debt free.
Debt free. Wow, debt free. Now you probably get all the money for it because they're on a frenzy right now. Slaves are buying up houses.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shoot, it'll be hold on a second.
Oh, he probably had to drop off, took a call or something. I love to hear you guys debt-free stories. I do. I love to hear them. I love that I inspire you to want to tell me that, man, it just and you guys that tell me in the email, I know you guys, there's more of you guys in the background that don't want to talk, all my silent listeners. I appreciate you all. I do. I appreciate you all. Shout out to Omanike for the Cash App donation. Thank you, Omanike. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. But without you, I remember hearing this a lot when I used to listen to other motivational speakers, and they used to always say, without you, there is no me. And it's true. Because I found my gift. This is my gift, right? Once you find the gift and you see it changing lives, it's just, hey, what's up, man? You there? You good?
Hey, yeah, sorry about that. I was kind of like fooling with like my audio settings, but yeah, I caught what you were saying though, and yes, I'm about to get like every penny of what's gonna come in. And it's funny because like even the one offer I've got in, like I reviewed it already, and I'm gonna of course still do what I can to get like fair amount of it from it, but I'm like much more lax about some of the conditions of it because I'm like, well, this is my last bit of debt. After this, I'm truly going to be positive.
Right.
And the reason why I said I'm not feeling it yet because like it's not through, day of deals and stuff's not through.
Mm-hmm.
But I know once it is, I'm gonna be like, hold up a second. This is the first time being free since like getting out of high school, and then you gotta go in.
How old are you now?
Get a job and such. And
how old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh shit. Okay, go ahead. All right.
So it's gonna be the first
what?
time
This is what I
really
want you to do. When that house comes through and it sells, don't feel like you got to be doing something now. Like I got to do. What am I going to do now? Just relax and just let the freedom soak in. Right. Do what you want to do. Go to the park. Go walk. Go wake up. Don't even plan your next day. Just wake up and say, I'm going to do this. Get used to that because that's how your life is going to be.
Oh, I am already. Like my dad's been talking to me. He's like, hey son, because like I had something else go on basically with some stuff with like the military to where like that's all through, and so I'm gonna have income coming in from them. And
okay,
like my dad's like, hey, look, I know you got a really good break, you're getting income in, but you should still go and get a job. And I'm like, I mean, I hear him. I'm like, I respect that, Dad, and I understand where he's coming from.
Right.
To like not put all your eggs in one basket.
I mean, job's a tool. That's how you're gonna earn money to do what you really want to do. Because you have no debt. You just like, oh, okay, I got to get a job. All right, that's the tool I need to earn money so I can fulfill my own whatever that is. That's all it is. Job's a tool, nothing personal.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
26, man. Congratulations, man. 26. Congratulations.
I'm telling you, I'm dropping like hints. I'm dropping what you're dropping to anyone who's willing to listen, because it's like once you start to notice the little bits of math, everything else starts to come into place, and you're like, okay, why is this like this? Why is that like that? It's funny, like, And
And when you see it, you got to say, oh, for business. Gotcha. Okay. That's how you got to look at, oh, it's that way for business. Got it. That's it. And you learn from it. You learn from the big companies. Oh, pretend it's free, but it's really not because it is. That's all. Same thing.
Exactly.
That's
But
why you'll be
it's fun
successful
looking
in
at
whatever
it.
you do. That's why you'll be successful, because you will be able to see that.
Yep. Be able to not mix like business and what is it? Well, they say business and pleasure, but like
Business and feeling.
business and like personal
Basically, math with
feelings.
feelings. Don't mix feelings with math. Because right now you got the advantage because you'll be debt free and young. So the majority of people that are older than you, that make more money than you, they won't listen to you because they won't think you know what you're talking about. Oh, shut up, dumb kid. You don't know nothing. You haven't started life yet. You ain't 30. Blah blah blah. But they'll know it ain't got nothing to do with that. Math doesn't have an age. But that will be your advantage, and you're gonna kill it whatever you be in, financially wise.
Oh yes, I feel it already. People just they look at me like, oh really? Oh that's cute, and I'm like, it's cute.
That's
Like
cute.
there's like it's funny because I've seen like little articles like there's an article that I made sure I saved so I could send it to anyone who ever wants to know about it. Is like a little article about like I think 68% of people it said have like less than I think it was less than 2,000 in their bank account. And it's like, so if there's a large percentage of people with that, where are they getting the fancy cars from? Where are they getting these big houses from? Where are they getting all the ice on their wrist and all that? Where are they getting all that from?
See what you're saying? See what you're saying? Right now, what you're saying, they don't know that. You can see what you're describing right now. You can see that that's not true. If you don't have the majority of people don't got money in their account, they can't have all that stuff. That's true. But the banks are saying, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
The banks say you can get anything you want. You have to have money. You can get it. We'll help you. That's it. That's a gift. What you're seeing right now and describing, that's a gift. So when you start coming into yourself, you'll recognize that more that it is a gift.
Exactly. Exactly. And I gotta thank you for it. I see you got merch, you got t-shirts and everything.
Well, I'm starting it. I just got the design done, so we're about to start selling. I haven't started selling yet, but we're getting it done.
Well, shoot, I'm on the Discord. I will be looking to see when, because I want to buy some of them shirts.
All right. Yeah, we just got done with the first design. NC Biggs is another SMD family member that's helping with that. So now we got pretty much the design down. Now I'm going to who's going to make the shirts and blah, blah, blah. But it's it's coming up.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Help get the word out there.
Get the word out for sure. Yeah. They're going to be like I stated earlier, they're going to be statements that are going to make slaves ask the question of whoever's wearing them. Nothing to make them give them an opinion, calling them slaves. I don't want people that follow me dealing with slave splaining and stuff like that, or getting in fights, calling somebody a slave. It's many more of them than us, right? So just statements that, you're not a homeowner with a mortgage. They'll say, what does that mean? I see debt people. What do you mean you see debt people? Who are they? Then they'll ask. That's it. So congratulations to you, man. Your house is going to go through. You're already there mentally, but your house is going to sell. Slaves are in a frenzy right now, buying up places.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got like, I'm not kidding you. When it went up like late Friday, and I already had 3 showings and one confirmed offer. The other, I think, is still up in the air.
You're gonna get top dollar because they're in a frenzy. They're paying over asking price right now.
Oh yeah.
Because they think houses are running out or they're going to run out of something. I don't know what they think, whatever, right? That's not your problem. Your problem is to sell and be free. Let them take on that debt. You'll get another house. You're 26. You'll have your own house in cash. I promise you that. Promise you that. Promise you that. 26? Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, because I'm looking in like, I mean, of course, you can still buy here in like the U.S., especially if you find places with like small little communities, because like everyone wants to go in the city, but you don't have to go into the city.
No, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You pick out where you want to live, how you want to live, What kind of size property? Picture just in your brain. And all you got to do is wait. Wait till unemployment runs out. I mean, if you have money now, I'm just saying, if you had the money now, you just wait till the unemployment runs out. Wait till people start paying their student loan debt. Wait till they refinance the 40-year mortgages when they have to go back to work. And then that's when they're ready to sell because they bought something they couldn't afford.
Oh,
and
yes.
then you'll be there when they can't pay their taxes or some stupid stuff. They won't be able to afford something, and then they'll lose the house, and then that's when you'll swoop in with cash. That's how you do it.
On up.
Mm-hmm. Scoop it right on up.
Oh yeah.
So congratulations, man. I'm proud of you. Thank you for
Thank
following.
you, LJ. Yeah, I'm telling you, because just as you had the brother on earlier, your info is getting out there and it's reaching many more people than you know. That's just watching from the clouds.
I know. They tell me in the background. A lot of people email me and say, "Hey, man, I'm a silent listener." I appreciate those guys too. You know, not everybody wants them to know who they are. You know, whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's uncomfortable because there's more unconscious slaves than not. You know, you got to just be quiet. You can't tell your friends and your family because they'll get mad at you. And you're trying to help them, and they'll get mad at you. That's how unconscious they are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I already know a little bit about that. Yeah.
I can see it on your face. That's the same thing Top Shelf said. That's the same thing Greek Surgeon said. Don't talk to people about it. You got to wait till they ask because stress is a vibration. and slaves have this vibration of stress every day, and they think it's normal. They're not going to detect that vibration from you. That's what's going to attract them to you. And then they're going to wonder why. How come you're not stressed? Everybody around us is stressed except you. That's the invite. Oh, I'll tell you why. Because debt is stress. What do you mean debt is stress? If you don't have debt, you don't have stress. And then how you do that? And then it'll just go on and on and on.
And then it'll just build from there. If they want to learn, and if they at any point like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Then I'm like, all right.
You already know as soon as you get the indication that they're not listening to you, you stop. Because you're only going to make yourself mad. Because then it's easy to tell when they stop listening to you. They don't know that you can detect when they stop listening, but as soon as you detect it, you stop, and then you move on. Hey, how about them Lakers? Who's the baseball score? You know, talk about some bullshit that they like to talk about. Just talk about it, and then you'll just veer off. That's it. How's the weather? Oh, it's sunny today. Okay.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, what you gonna do today? Nothing. Bye. See ya. So congratulations, man.
Most definitely. Thank you, LJ.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
man. I'm gonna get off.
Go ahead,
get off here, man. We got 3 hours, 30 minutes. This is a great stream, man. I appreciate you jumping on.
All right, most definitely. Keep doing your work. All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. This was a great Father's Day live stream, man. It went on longer than it, but it was very productive. Very productive. It started out with a review, but as always, it turns into more than that. We got a couple of testimonials. I love it and encourage more and more people to share their stories of how it's changing, because I know if you're new to the channel and I call what I do as a gift and nobody know millions, I don't want you just to hear from me. I want you to hear from people that follow me. It is a superpower. It is. You'll be they'll think you're a financial genius, and you're not. You just say, I'm not really, if I just trust this calculator app on my phone. I'm not a genius. I just 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah. That's it. But they don't know that. That's what, because it's so simple, they think you're a genius. That's it. It's nothing. And that's my gift. My gift is to help people. Just all ages. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. The younger you are, the better, because you have more time, because time is the most valuable thing on earth. You have more time. You wake up in your 20s, early 30s with this information, you're going to be rich. You sure are? Yes. The answer is yes. All right. Thank you, everybody. Andre, as always. Jewel, Omanique, Stephen, Lauren, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Top Shelf, thank you for jumping on. Greek Surgeon, thank you for jumping on. Appreciate you. Sub Wayne, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday evening. Yes, 4:40 here. Until next time. All right, see you later.